if I die really fast, or if I kill, I'm gonna kill really fast. So, that was also without all of the equipment that I have now. I was weaker in terms of my levels. I didn't have as many abilities, and I didn't get the buffs from the side quests, which I just had now. So, I might respec before I go in there, but yeah. Overall, everything's pretty good to go.
Alright, you go, sir.
All right, let me turn off my battery charger from my phone. There we go. Okay, set that up. Alrighty then. Hey, yeah, hello, poser, whatever your name is.
Oh man, for some fucking reason I'm fucking covered in sweat right now. I don't understand. It's supposed to be still cold here.
Ah, yes.
Oh, they're
Where's the Mad Smith? Oh, he's over there. Hey, you, I gotta have a conversation with you. Okay, here we go. I just gave him the Chaos Ores.
This is what you require.
Oh yeah, he wanted to make a talisman from it.
Behold, Rider! This talisman is beyond the skill of most makers. Almost too fine for one such as you. Enough. Tell me how to destroy the Abyssal Forge. Destroy the Heartstone, of course.
Oh yeah, you can cross the... Wait, can I do it now, or what? Oh, nice. It seems I don't need to equip it or anything. If I just have my inventory, I can walk around the poison waters. Nice. Well, now I just have to walk around, get a couple chests, and, well, more accurately, I just have to find where the Abyssal Forge is, which shouldn't be too difficult, because there's only I think it's like 2 or 3 paths that I can take. Oh, looking over there. A dead man.
Where the Abyssal Forge is?
I mean, I can just run past all these guys if we want to go find him. Won't be that long to... Oh, wait, no, he should be over here in this direction. Yes. I do believe... Well, go ahead. Oh. Find the Heartstone. Delicious.
So I'm playing Hi-Fi Rush off screen. What happens then? Okay, that should be a little better. So I'm playing Hi-Fi Rush off screen. Because I heard about it. It was on Game Pass. I thought I'd give it a try. Really good game.
Creation moves. Why build so many constructs?
It is my function. My progeny shall construct abyssal forges upon other worlds. A new race that shall inherit all of creation.
I will not allow that.
You are not like the makers. You are neither angel nor human.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say that technically something to mention for the Abyssal Forge. Oh wow, that was a lot of damage.
Looks like the stairs of the Kingdom ARPA got leaked and it has massive spoilers.
Wait, is it over already? Oh, okay.
Did you already kill him?
Oh, yeah. I think my damage is too high.
Alright,
There we go. Abyssal Forge is over, guys.
Well, actually, hang on, man. Mangler, you skill darksiders. Do you think they can beat the horseman or not?
No.
Why?
I think she'd give them a bit of a tough time, but I don't think she'd be able to hit them. She doesn't have resistances to existence erasure. They have like layered hacks, and then they have like so many different abilities she doesn't resist.
Zim, we can barely hear you. Guys, okay, so you have to understand something. When I do a morning stream, I I'm streaming here. I'm gonna mute the game for the time being. It'll make it easier to hear me.
The game's not muted.
Yeah. Okay, so fucking when I stream in the morning, for me, I'm streaming on my laptop, and by streaming on my laptop, I'm streaming on an old like kind of broken mic. I guess I could try. I don't think my laptop has like a mic of its own. Here, let me see.
Oh, the Abyssal Forge is done. Now on to the next one. Time to go to the Demon Lord Belial.
Okay.
Luckily, this DLC is very. Sorry.
Is this better? Can you guys hear me
Sounds-
better on this one?
Sounds better on my end for some reason.
I'm playing Darksiders currently and I breeze through the Abyssal Forge.
Yeah, once you the hardest part of the Abyssal Forge is the Chaos Orbs. But once you find them, then you just go straight to the boss and just kill him in like 5 seconds, because the Abyssal Forge is intended for people who just completed the Forge lands. So if you're above that, your damage scale's way too high.
Okay, so is this better? Alright, well fucking.
Guys, can you hear Zim? Can you hear him clearly or no? I need a clear and concise answer. Not really? Not really to what?
Okay, well I guess Rock and Al's saying it's better. Well, as long as it's louder. Well, is this louder than it was before or no? Because that's all I really care about. The quality's not going to be any better. This will be my basic laptop mic.
We go.
Yeah, I got yeah, louder. All right. Well, Rock and Al says it's louder. All right, then I guess we'll stick with this then. That's so weird. Because the microphone I was using was the Blue Snowball, and for some fucking reason it's for some reason I guess it got blown out at some point.
Oh, I think I went the wrong way.
Hang on, I'll be back momentarily.
Well, there we go. I get my hammer 15% health steal, and now I can't die. I'm using the what's it called? This little hammer, which is, I believe, the Axe of Rending. Skeletal Axe of Rending. Yeah, it makes you very difficult to die. Darksider scaling video. Yeah, at some point. The Darksiders verse. I'll be honest. Like, the Darksiders verse scales bare minimum above like a baseline 2A construct in terms of like AP, and then has like quite a few layered hacks along with like shitloads of existence erasure and like really good soul manipulation. So I don't think Bayonetta would survive an interaction with that. I don't believe Bayonetta is 5D, and I don't believe enough evidence has been presented for that.
Oh, something like that.
Would anyone in Bleach do well against the Horseman? There might be a few people, like maybe end of series Yuha, but that's probably only because I don't think the Horsemen have any sort of mid-godly regen negation. But it wouldn't really. Well, I actually, it kind of depends on what the Horsemen bring in the battle, because they might have some sealing options, so they might be able to like stop him.
Wouldn't that not matter though? Yuha like at best scales to Uni, doesn't he?
Yeah, but they scale to like 2A.
Yeah, no.
So they.
I'm saying like even if they can potentially kill Yuha, he really can't do anything to them.
Well, so it's more. Well, that's not exactly true. He does have the miracle, and he has other things. So like the miracle allows him to negate AP differences because as soon as you like damage him, he gains a form based on the damage you inflicted on his body. He gains power in response to that. So if you hit him with the 2A level of power, he's getting a 2A level form. So
Couldn't you just
assuming you're
argue
not
he would die, like, or like, because you say his mid godly regen, but isn't that like after he gets his full power and everything? Like, what version of Yuha are we talking about here?
this would just be like end of series Yuha. Like after he's absorbed the Mimi
Yeah,
Hage.
understood.
Also, I'm pretty sure he could just use the Almighty on himself to like bolster advantage because he doesn't have to use it on them, though I believe he could. I don't think they have any sort of resistance to that kind of like precog or like that kind of cosmic awareness.
Wouldn't the
Unless Darksiders
Almighty,
4 comes along and is like
wouldn't the Almighty be more reality warping than anything else, technically?
no, because well, okay, it can reality warp, yes, but like what it does is it looks into the future and allows him to change and alter that future freely.
Yeah, so wouldn't that just be reality warping more than like a precog thing? So wouldn't you have to argue if they can resist reality warping?
Um, no, because he can also see and observe the future and know all things of it and prevent anything in that future from harming him.
Yeah, but
That's
see,
not just
the problem is that like, so that just sounds like reality warping, just that I can do it in the
that's
future.
that it sounds like you're just basically taking the term and instead of applying specifics, you're applying a general term to encompass everything.
Because the only difference between what I'm saying and what the Almighty apparently does by what you're saying is that the Almighty does it in the future, but that's still
But
just reality
The Almighty
warping.
doesn't change. The Almighty doesn't change reality; it just changes the future.
Yes,
Space and
but
time and everything is still intact.
I mean, you can warp reality without warping space and time, to be fair.
But
Nothing.
he's not changing reality around him. He's just changing the
There's
future tied
been
to the
a
person.
there's been a rise of God of War tard saying Kratos is universal and boundless. Based off what argument? Like, you, I mean, like, is it based off at least fucking PlayStation All Stars? Oh, hey, look, it's Strife.
That is not Strife.
Yes, it is.
It is Wolverine's voice actor though. Well, it's the
Featured.
one for the from the animated TV series.
You know, can I just say how weird it is? Because I don't know if I talked to you about this, but so Death Battle is doing Ashura from Ashura's Wrath versus Kratos in their next Death Battle cast.
Yes. I mean that's to be expected. Like casts, I think, kind of include things that they would have pondered over, though we kind of know that that's one that they plan on doing at some point.
And this is where it gets a little interesting because I didn't realize this, but it seems that the Reddit, and I fucking hate agreeing with Reddit half the time, but it seems the Reddit is under the consensus that Kratos is not universal at all, and they seem to separate it based off of lore versus feats scaling chain. Even though, like,
Do do they actually have all the lore statements? Because they're
no,
completely correct. Oh,
no,
that's fucked.
no, they're literally just like I think most people on the Reddit from what I saw were like, I think Continental Kratos is the right way to scale him. Maybe planet level on like a super highball.
They're more correct than they realize for the most fucked up reason. See, normally Reddit would be dead wrong, but the problem here is that the people who've been scaling God of War have been dead wrong for years. And they take in information intentionally out of context, or in most cases, a few God of War scalers have taken it out of context and have spread that information around the grapevine, and now everybody just universally believes it without sourcing information properly. So everybody's wrong, but for different reasons.
The power of hope argument and saying it's a concept. But being a concept doesn't make you want. Oh, I guess they're going for the argument of like fucking.
Beyond all time and space and dimensions and everything.
Yeah, they're going for the plutonic concept argument, I guess.
Yes, because platonic concepts are always 1A, of course. Of course. No context needed. Wait, where am I? Hmm. Oh.
No, platonic concept
Yep.
could literally be 5D and still fit all the requirements they ask of what it's supposed to be. Plus, Kratos has shit hacks. Yeah. Well,
It
what
could be
have?
5D. It could be 4D. You
Also,
understand a platonic concept is technically anything that like exists as the idea or a form of a thing independent of reality, right? Like
yeah, but like the problem is that I would say the God of War universe is probably at least 4D because the tree does, have space-time feats or statements. So I would say that probably there's 4D stuff already there. I wouldn't put concepts in the same category as the tree. But granted, 5D is like me just taking a leap of like logically you can still do this exact same argument and it would just be
are
5D
you
because
saying
it's
they
universal.
scale to 4D or they're statements and things that you could extrapolate to 4D?
I'm saying there are already objects and items within God of War that you could potentially argue to be 4D, mainly just a tree. And then from there, you can just be like, okay, then everything else could just be 5D. It doesn't have to necessarily be outerversal or anything like that. The problem is that you haven't
Guess.
proven a multiverse or layers of dimensionality to make the claim that it's outerversal.
Now hang on a minute. Apparently if you just hold a multiverse, that makes you 5D. Even if you just exist around the spaces of a multiverse. That's apparently enough.
Yeah, but there's no multiverse in God of War though.
Not yet. We'll get there.
Yeah, no, but yeah. So I don't know. It's just weird. From what I understand, from what the Reddit was saying, it seems like YouTube scales God of War far higher than where a lot of other places do. I don't know how to feel about that though.
I wonder why. Wonder if it has something to do with Seth and TGNK or anything. Possibly.
Someone tried to say that the primordials are abstract concepts and said it was stated in the Tales of Morpheus, but when I looked it up, it said nothing about the primordials being abstract concepts.
Oh yeah, back to the Bleach thing. So yeah, like Yuha's probably the only person that I could see doing anything. I mean, the other ones have abilities that could affect them, but like they're at a massive AP range. Like Yuha's mainly the Hacks character that manages to survive long enough, and if not, then maybe Grimmy, the Prime Soul King, or like Gerard. But I'm pretty sure they could probably find a way to kill Gerard.
A lot of them still use fake scans. Of course they do.
They don't know any better. Also, many of them genuinely don't know that they're faked, and many of them do and don't care.
I just never understand this position of wanting to up. I just never understood the position of wanting to upgrade a character so badly who is thrashed in like every tier he's actually in. What about Aizen with Marble?
Eisen with what?
I'm assuming it means what about Aizen with the Hellgear too?
Oh, I was like a marble. um, so with Eisen, we kind of come down to whether or not they had like sealing abilities because they can't really negate his mid godly, but like he wouldn't be able to do anything to
Doesn't he
them
have
for a
high
good chunk of
godly?
the fight. No, he can come back from his entire existence being wiped away, but he never came back from like the concept of his existence being removed. In addition to those other things,
Hmm. I see. By the way, Jimmy,
that would be kind of wild if he did.
have you seen how advanced AI voices becoming? Yes, I've recently been enjoying the journeys of Donald Trump, Barack Obama, and who's the current president? Joe Biden playing Minecraft, and it's the stupidest shit I ever heard, but it's funny.
is that is that with the stupid AI like
Yeah,
thing?
yeah. They're
Oh
so
my
AI
god.
voices have become super fucking advanced since the last time you probably thought about them. And they got enunciations, breathing patterns down. They have like a lot of shit going on. Honestly, it's kind of scary in hindsight because there's a lot of bad that can come from it, but it can be funny.
There's a there's already a lot of bad that can come from like AI being able to generate art immediately. Now we'd have to make like new rules and laws regarding that,
I'm
just so
not.
that artists don't feel like they're getting ripped off.
I'm not too sure how I feel about some of the AI art things. So I do think artists should be compensated if they're. I don't know because the problem is that like fucking some of the AI art learns from like public informational stuff. So it's kind of like, do I really get mad at an AI for learning about like art from publicly posted images? Like, even if you didn't consent to it, it's on the public information. They try to say the great evils are also concepts that's created in primordials, but the great evils have no real features like being corruption. The great evils were created during the war. They wouldn't be greater than the primordials by that logic. People still
They
think
weren't even created during the war.
people still
They
think
were
POC.
they existed before the war. Kronos literally felt fear, and that's the reason he like wanted to kill his or wanted to swallow his children. So he felt fear before fear was even created, presumably. So yeah, it's not even accurate.
I think the
But
modders being able to make their own story modes now. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you right now, AI voice is gonna become super fucking highly regulated. It has to. Also, regarding POC not being canon, yeah, no, it's already confirmed to be an orthodoxical sequel. Fuck out of here. This whole shit. This is literally just a mobile game stigma. Oh, it's a mobile game, therefore it's not canon. Yeah, fuck out of here, that shit.
please come with a better argument that is founded with evidence.
And you know those fuckers would use the God of War mobile game to heck its statements if it was still even around.
Yep. Or any mobile game for that matter that isn't a series they don't like.
Oh yeah, according to Seville, I guess DMC's downgrade thread got beat down again. Someone asked me to go over it, but I don't know if I want to go over 500 replies.
I don't think the next one is that long because it got finished in like a day. I mean, granted, the first one got finished in like a day and a half, but there was at least like 4 or 5 pages.
Even though
I haven't checked this new one.
they literally changed the story so that would fit the canon. Like, come on. Mm. At the end of the day, some people are just not gonna like it. But even then, Dante doesn't even need fucking POC to get 5D, especially if God of War scalers would scale them up that high easily. You can just argue the fruit by that logic would be like boundless.
You got way better arguments for conceptual stuff with Argos X than you do with the evils in God of War. And like, it's one thing to have statements, which we have for Argos X. It's another thing to have a character whose entire narrative is that he's intended to be perfect under every single definition of the word. And all of his descriptions keep giving explanations of how perfect he is in completely different ways that are unique within the verse. Whereas like God of War's over here, like, here's a cutscene about the evils infecting the world. I'm like, oh yeah, I mean, I guess that's impressive if I put it in context with other things, but like only in verse.
Oh, actually, that completely reminded me. Apparently, there's an update thread going on, or an upgrade thread for Kingdom Hearts going to 60, based off apparently Mickey Mouse's Clubhouse. Whatever the fuck that means.
No, it's just named Mickey Mouse's Clubhouse. It has nothing to do with that.
Oh.
They're just using the same hyperspace argument to say, well, if the hyperspace exists here, then the oceans between would be a 5D construct. So everything that's superior to that makes it a 6D construct. Basically, 5 and 6D in the verse come from a single statement about a dimension being a hyperspace, which is referring to a dimension that Pete was thrown into during the events of BBS after he was causing some problems in Disney Town. And we only see it once. We have a single description about it, and it's never talked about or described ever again. The entire verse is made dimensionally superior to 2-dimensional degrees based off of that.
Which boss from DMC1 does he fight? Just Phantom? Because if that's the case, you literally kill baby Phantoms in the secret mission. And on top of that, you literally see in the DMC anime Dante fighting in the intro cutscene multiple Phantoms. You fight Griffin again, or do you fight a creature like Griffin? Like, is it the same guy or not?
Ripper, by the way, Ripper is a Griffin as well. He's not the Griffin, but he's part of Griffin's species. If you see him, he not only has the exact same sound effects, he has the exact same theme, and he looks almost identical to Griffin.
Is that the one they're talking about, Ripper? Like, because like the problem because I was gonna say, like, you have to prove it's the same Griffin. Like, you can't just say, oh, it looks like him, therefore it is. These people are part of a species, you dipshit. Does that mean every single Frost I fight is the same Frost, you fucking moron?
It also doesn't work because demons' names are like the concept of their existence. So if I have 2 demons from the same tribe and one of them is named Ripper, but the other is named Griffin, why would I assume they're the same person? That'd be weird.
Like demons are part of the species most of the time. We have multiple evidence to say there are more. I think Phantom's even stated to eat his own kind to get stronger, but I think that might be from the comic, not the actual game. Yeah, no, that's trash.
There's actually an argument that Argosax is the original primordial chaos. His OG statement verbatim says he is the overlord or the dominator of the chaos. If you translate it back to Chinese, he just is the primordial chaos. So he either completely controls the entire space in its entirety with all of its properties, or he is an amalgamation of it, or like a physical representation of it.
Get off my lawn. Yeah, no.
So no matter how you take it, he's connected to the primordial chaos in a massive capacity.
Yeah, but going back to the AI voice thing. Yeah, no, because I'm still deciding whether or not I want to use AI voice or fucking hire a voice actress for the quick other set video. Thankfully, it's a lot smaller than I thought it was gonna be, so it's gonna be, I'm assuming, cheaper than I thought. I don't think it'll take them probably less than an hour to record all the lines, anyways. So I don't know, maybe I can like get away paying them
Wait,
like $100.
there's supposed to be a chest here. Where is it?
It's gone, lost to time and space.
No. I worked so hard. Oh.
Yeah, because I was thinking about doing voice AI, but I don't know what the legality behind that would be. Because I'm pretty sure, because we can replicate so many voices, but I don't know what's the line there. Because it's gonna be regulated one of these days. It has to be.
Demons spawn in the demon world like Minecraft. They are Minecraft players, yes.
Because like, if with the way this AI voice acting is going right now, it has to be regulated. Otherwise, so many people are gonna be out of a job.
I mean, you could just pass a law specifically that AI generated art can be produced, but no one can make money off of it, and it can't be used to enter any sort of competitions or things.
Well, no. So AI art's current position is so there's a lot of AI art right now currently. It cannot be copyrighted. I don't think there's anything saying you can't make money off it. I could be wrong on that.
They should. No. I'm aware. There should be laws that would probably prevent authors from actually losing their ability to make a living.
I don't know if it's fair to say you can't make money off of AI art because there was a comic a guy made. The comic is completely original except for the art being completely AI generated. And they said
Also,
the guy could not copyright it because of because it's AI art. And I was thinking myself back in my head like, well, hang on now a minute. I respect the claim it's AI art, therefore it can't be copyrighted. But like, this is still his general idea. This was an original comic concept. I feel like maybe we have a bit of nuance here, you know?
so wait. So his problem is that he can't create the artwork himself.
So he
So,
used AI art to create the artwork for the comic to see if he could do it, and it worked. Like he was able to get more or less a decent wage.
well, at that point, he should probably be seeking out like an actual author or an artist that he could use to craft it for him.
Well, the problem is that not a lot of people. Well, so obviously you might not be aware of this depending on how much you do but know about commissions. But artists are really fucking expensive. Like Newhin,
They are.
I pay him a lot of money, but Newhin's actually incredibly cheap by comparison to like 99% of artists.
I mean, I'm aware. My sister's an artist. She plans on doing that shit for a living. I'm aware of what her commissions cost.
And let me guess.
They don't.
Well, hang on. Does she do like character images, or does she just do like whole portrait shenanigans?
She mainly does portraits,
Okay,
but yeah,
so let
they're
me guess. Bust is 50, somewhere $25, $50 range.
some of the full portraits she does go for like several hundred.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. A full. Wait. Does she do live? Like she'll like you give her a picture and she'll draw you or something, or like what does she do specifically?
I would have to ask her, but she's done like, well, I don't think she's done portraits of people before, but she can create. Well, actually, no, that's not true. She's created a portrait of our dog that somebody requested for her. Came out to like half a grand. It looked great though.
Yeah. See, that's the thing about it. That's the thing about a lot of artists, and it's more so American artists. I think that do this a lot. It takes time to
Oh, there it
create
is.
art. It takes time to create art that's fair. So I respect their costs because of that. I respect that it takes a while, but yeah, like no fucking most people cannot afford to pay for a comic book artist in general.
Then there would probably have to be some sort of regulatory cost involved in AI generation. Because like I can't see this being fair to actual artists who spend a lot of time like trying to make their work, even if someone does have an original idea. Because like an AI generate, how much does it even cost to use an AI?
Oh, depending on how many pictures you want, it can be free.
Oh well, fuck then. Like the only thing I mean, the only thing we're accounting for is just like labor, which again that still costs money to like
Well,
put your time down and effort. But
so
like,
like the problem here is like fucking okay. So what if the AI art only draws in like the art style of Leonardo da Vinci? You know, like if it only draws in the public, open, like non-copyrightable things, would that make it better? Because the biggest problem with AI art as it is right now is that AI art not stole because that's not accurate. It basically took a fuck ton of Google images and was like, I'm gonna learn the art from all of these public images, and the artists are upset because their public images were used as reference to train the AI.
hmm.
And my position is, I respect that. So what if the AI just drew in the art of like Da Vinci and the greats of old?
So you'd be advocating for things that exist within the public domain that have been out for like decades at this point that fall within fair use.
Yes, like what if the AI is trained with that? Then do we no
That
longer
would
have an issue?
probably be pretty acceptable because at that point no one would have any sort of complaints about it. Also, would probably look pretty damn good.
Well, see, that's where the worst part comes in is that there would still be complaints because artists, you know, would bring up the point that we're losing money, which I'm gonna say yes and no. I'm gonna disagree with that position a little bit. Most people who would use AI art were never gonna hire you because they're poor as fuck. I think that's one thing I don't like about the artist claim is like we're losing money with AI art. Let's be clear here. There was never a market for you to have with some of these people. They're not gonna pay your prices. I respect claiming your market's in danger, but let's be clear here. You weren't getting half these people. As a guy that does art for a hobby, it does take. No, no. Art takes a lot of time. Like whenever Newheen gets like a drawing done in a day, I'm always kind of impressed because I know it takes a while to sit down and draw all that shenanigans. You know, art is not easy, and I respect that. That's why that's why like. Well, I'll mention that artists are expensive. I don't think I've ever flat out said that they like steal from people or anything because I understand it takes a long time to do these things, and especially depending on the quality. Like the higher
Oh,
quality
these
you get.
guys are fucking tanky.
Yeah, I've noticed.
Like,
I'm seeing a lot of like high numbers here, and they're just like, come on, more.
I'm just like, crits, 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 crits. They're like, let's keep going. I'm like, no, that's not how this works.
Yeah, so like
All right, you know what?
I understand that position. I understand that it takes time and it costs money. Like that's why I'm not gonna like argue that like oh they're too expensive. I will say I'm not gonna pay for certain amounts of like money, but I won't like that bash artists too hard for paying what for charging what they charge. It's a time consuming process. Just because it's easier. I'm a fast food worker for my job. Yeah. I work at a retail store that I may or may not get fired from
Oh,
because I did not factor in that I think yesterday was a blackout day. For those of you who don't know, my store operates. Well, I don't know. I don't think I would get fired because I'm never really missing like work. So, our job counts 3 absences of work as I think a write up, and on blackout days they double the cost of the day you're leaving. So I think I'll call them I'll call them like on Wednesday and see how it goes. But I think technically they're gonna make it count like I was absent for 2 days rather than one because I called in yesterday. I mean
it
personally I
seems like
don't
a
care.
shitty practice.
I mean, they can't keep employees for shit. People keep leaving. They made a girl cry recently, and I'm just like, and
Yeah, you're just giving me reasons to believe they're shitty. Like I
well,
don't.
no. This wasn't the boss. This was like the actual regular employees. They made a new employee cry, and they were all like, "Yeah, I guess she was too weak." And well, I agree with them to some extent. I'm like, I think to myself, I think I told them this, like, guys, this is why we can't keep new employees. You guys gotta like, I mean, I get it, they're weak, yeah, but you can't fucking like make them cry.
I mean, I understand like a lecture, but like, what the fuck?
No,
Don't make your
dude,
employees cry.
bro,
Like,
if your fucking coworker is giving you enough fucking grievance to make you fucking cry, no, she didn't come back after that day, and I'm like, yeah, of course she didn't fucking come back. You people don't know how to fucking work with new employees. Dude, this is what I fucking hate. They don't take me seriously at my job, but I'm the only one when I train new employees where the new employees are actually happy and like working with me. Literally, there was this new employee I trained a while back. She left already. Good for her. But no, she was like the only person she was really fucking cool with was me because I was the only one who basically like treated her like a human fucking being.
Mangler, have you read the new JoJo Land art? I have only finished part 6. I only watched the anime.
If you're higher up at your job, that's pretty cool, me. So if you're like a fucking like manager at McDonald's, it's pretty chill. Would keto and spells work well against the horsemen since Aizen is a master of them?
Depends on the keto or spell. Your average ones, probably not, because most of them are just like glorified like elemental manipulation. Some of them have binding properties, which are pretty cool, but I'm pretty sure they can break those. Some of the better ones, like High-End, wouldn't work because the horseman can resist existence erasure. So it would just do nothing to them.
I have a weird relationship with McDonald's chicken nuggets. They're pretty juicy, and they have a nice like a nice like coating on them. But I don't think I've ever truly been enamored with McDonald's chicken nuggets the way a lot of other people are. I don't know. I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with McDonald's food. So sadly, everyone is an asshat besides me and Jaden. Whoever Jaden is. Yeah, no.
Jaden Yugi,
I know.
the guy that plays Elemental Heroes.
Bruh, man. Fuck Elemental Heroes. That shit's fucking busted.
Never heard anyone say that.
Oh my bad, my bad. Fuck heroes in general. They're busted.
There you go.
Oh,
I'm
my
gonna say
apologies.
Elemental Heroes, the worst of the bunch.
I won't say. Well, yeah, no, because Bowman hasn't been retrained yet. He's my coworker. Ah, I see. Yeah, no. I don't know. I used to be cool with my coworkers. Even like some of them, I usually only get along with the guys. It takes me months to get along with the girls, unless it's like a rare exception. Or they're just reasonable. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I say reasonable, but you guys know how I am. Take your pick on that one. I don't work well with women half the time, so take your pick on who's the problem child there. That being said, no Yu-Gi-Oh player will ever say heroes are busted. Are you fucking crazy? Heroes have literal DPE literally existed.
Unfortunately, not every card in Heroes is even like a tenth as good as DP.
You get a dark law field started, and have fun. Of course,
Yeah,
you do die to literally any board clear whatsoever because heroes have no protection. I'm gonna tell you
they
right
don't.
now, give Bowman a retrain and have him be like fucking DP is the exception. No, heroes have a lot of silly shit in their archetype. The only reason people don't call them bust is because they have no protection. If heroes
They would
came
need to.
out with like a blue eyes jet dragon type monster that protected their fucking cards, they would be absurdly good.
No, they would need a hero lives and all of their search cards back at 3. They would need like all their mass change cards back at 3. They
No,
need like all their hero cards off the list
you
and
don't
then
need mass
probably a
change what?
rechain. No, like I believe they have. Well, unless I'm looking at Master Duel, I believe they have one of their mass change cards limited or
On
semi-limited.
TCG, I don't think so. But in Master Duel, they only have Mass Change 2 limited. Why the fuck would you want Mass Change 2? Mass Change 1 does the exact same thing.
I believe there are some other combos that allow for like further extensions that wouldn't be available otherwise. Makes it extremely consistent. Also, because why would you just want like 3 copies of Mass Change when you can have 6?
Okay, but like, why would you want 6 changes of Mass Change? Your only Mass Change target really is Dark Law.
Because your point is to open it consistently.
Yeah, that's true, I guess. I guess maybe, I guess
Like if you want to take someone down, the best hope is to have the same consistent option happen more often. Like
yeah, that's fair. Something will work or sim for me. Do the Horsemen have reactive evolution, and how fast is their combat growth? I don't
seems like a
think
bit of a loaded question.
I don't think they have really any solid combat growth.
Well,
Well, I mean,
uh,
no. So I think Mangler mentioned that there are statements that War and Death get stronger in their respective like horsemen tier,
whoa, what the
but
hell's happening here?
I would say on a personal level, from what I've seen of the games, I don't really think they have that kind of combat
So
growth.
they don't have like a generic, as far as what I've found in the lore, they don't have any sort of generic shared information or shared physiology among the horsemen that indicates that at the current moment. However, War specifically has powers associated with his position as the War Horseman that gives him accelerated development and maybe some forms of reactive evolution.
Okay, so
Because
that's
when he fights and he becomes embroiled in the blood and the carnage, just in like death and like violence around him, he becomes stronger and he becomes more enamored in the manner of war. So
yeah, that's where like I'm assuming that's just from the novels because like if you were to play the games, you would never assume they have any sort of
no,
reactive evolution.
you also wouldn't, because war is massively nerfed in the game. We don't really see any of his full powers. He's more so nerfed than any of the other horsemen are. We also
Yeah.
don't see Death's full powers, and we don't see Fury's power associated with her name, nor do we see Strife's.
Can't just argue anytime she's angry, that's her being in fury.
Well,
Granted,
so
she's
like
always angry.
for example, we're told that death is anti-life, but we're not given context on what anti-life is unless you read the Abomination Vault. Then you realize anti-life means nothingness, essentially, oblivion. So like death is just nothingness incarnate.
I see. Counterpoint Dark Hole. If you refer to the Yu-Gi-Oh thing, yeah, Hero Monsters just died from a board wipe. It's
I was
super
gonna say,
funny when you
yeah,
think about it.
Dark Hole is super funny when someone makes Dark Law and they make like Onkin or no, even better, they make what's it called? Is it Elemental Hero Absolute Zero? They make him. They make Dark Law. They don't make DPE, but they make something else, and then you're like, okay, that's a decent board. Counterpoint, Regeki.
Yeah, heroes have. Well, I mean, if they have DPE, they can come. Well, no, because you can't get Dark Law back with DPE, can you?
I mean, you can kill yourself with DBE to get DBE back, or you can let DBE die to Dark Hole, but you lose the rest of your board, and your opponent can do whatever they want for the rest of that turn, and you can't stop them.
Is that why he can shrug off corruption like it's nothing?
I believe the Horsemen in general can shrug off corruption. Whoa. It probably could be, because technically the Abyss is also just the Abyss is also referred to collectively as Oblivion by the Lord of the Dead, and Oblivion is just confirmed to be like non-existence or like like the context given for it is in the Abomination Vault when Death goes to the Keeper of the Oblivion, which houses something known as the Well of Oblivion, which is an area that people are sent to by the Charred Council when they commit crimes that are so unspeakable against the rest of creation that they can't be allowed to exist anymore. So they're sent to an area that basically is considered like death, a true death for all immortals. And it does specify clearly that like angels and demons, even given like I think like their lifespan or their understanding of heaven or hell, would never dare do something that would send them to the keeper of the Oblivion's Vault. It's very clear this is something that is intended to kill immortals and beings that like cannot die. So if something is referred to as Oblivion in Darksiders, assuming it isn't like contradicted, which doesn't really happen, you would assume it has existence erasure. And the Abyss is referred to collectively alongside that.
Better question: are
As
they
is,
abstract?
I don't know if I'd say they're abstract. Maybe the Sens, but we don't have enough information on the Sens. We didn't get like a guidebook or anything. There might be something that comes along there that explains why. Oh my god.
Doesn't 3 have an art book?
It does, but it didn't really give me the love that Darksiders 1's art book did.
Anyways, going back to something way earlier before all this art AI stuff, art and everything. Regarding Hi-Fi Rush, because you mentioned Hi-Fi. Um, After the Aeroside video and after the New Vegas one, I'll probably do a quick little Hi-Fi Rush. How powerful? It's a really short, simple game. I more or less have the speed scaling down. AP's a little up in the air. Durability, I'd also technically have to calculate, but I'm pretty sure it's somewhere in the range of like the small building level where it stands right now.
Darksiders Abyss versus Dark Souls Abyss. Darksiders Abyss would swallow the Dark Souls Abyss. Not only is it like way stronger, it's massively like larger and has much better properties. Because like even demons have corruptive properties. If they're able to fight angels for long enough, they can corrupt their souls, despite angels and demons literally having resistances to soul manipulation. So I would argue demons in the series would already be able to corrupt or affect the Abyss, or just not get affected by the Abyss in Dark Souls. But the corruption is able to corrupt everything in this what's it called, in the Darksider series, whether it be angel, demon, even the makers. And the makers' souls are considered so ancient they can't even be reformed in the Well of Souls, which is able to purge all forms of the souls, including their mind, memory, and their basic form, and like reconstruct them. But makers are so old that they precede the Well, so they can't even go to the Well, and they can't even be remade in the Well. Yet the corruption is able to affect and corrupt makers into whatever they want, including the constructs, which have the souls of the makers. So, yeah, Dark Souls probably would not be able to handle even like, I guess, the demon's corruption, because technically everybody in Dark Souls is affected by mind and madness manipulation. It just takes a really long time for the madness to actually set in due to the hollowing curse, because people have to die like multiple times to start becoming hollowed. And if they don't, it just takes a really long time for them to lose their minds, or a specific despair-based situation, and then they're driven mad. Direct contact with the Dark Souls Abyss does drive you mad like a lot faster. But what I typically say is just like in general. Well, in general, like the dark is a more potent way to do it. Whereas like in Darksiders, you don't even need to be a part of the Abyss or corruption to corrupt people. The corruption is just the most blatantly obvious example of it. Like when you see corruption, you're like, yeah, no, that's textbook corruption. It's called corruption. It corrupts people. Yeah, I don't really have to have a discussion here. But like that's not the only form of corruption in Darksiders. That's also like the highest form. There are lower forms of corruption that would still work. Because the corruption in Darksiders is not your average corruption. It's stronger.
Which of the horsemen would you choose to be?
That's a good question. I would need another game to decide. Because if Strife gets some good shit, then I don't know. Like if they just give him like a third or a first person shooter for a game, that'd be fucking hilarious.
Zim talk, can I see? Yeah, more or less. It's not like I don't want to say something which you're complaining under breath.
It's okay. You can talk. Wait, where's my gun?
Strife
Oh,
has that one MMO. No, Strife doesn't have an MMO. He just has he has Genesis, but that's not an MMO. That's what's the term I'm
it's
thinking of?
a Diablo style game.
Yes.
I don't know
No,
what
no,
that's
it's called
called.
I remember. It's called an isometric action game.
Is there another way to refer to that?
No, it's referred to as an isometric. It's an isometric game. Isometric games refer to games where the camera is technically over the shoulder, but it's like way up in the air and like in the
It's like
background.
above in the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah. So would it be fair to call it an ISO?
I don't think they do it that way because even the isometric genre has variety in between it. Because like the original Fallout games, as I'm sure you're aware, are isometric
Oh yeah,
RPGs.
no. Yeah, I've seen them. They're ISOs.
Yeah.
Well,
No, yeah, you don't just call them ISOs, Mangler. You go with isometric, then whatever genre it's in.
isometric then. Well, sorry.
Well, I mean, if you want to say it's an ISO like action game, I'm sure people who know what you mean by ISO would understand. I'm just saying to like give it give it the fucking subgenre, you fucking animal.
Never.
Yeah,
Dark Souls
no.
Abyss is getting eaten alive. Yeah, it will get eaten alive. It's also weaker in terms of raw power because the Dark Souls multiverse at most is like a 2B construct, but even the first flame doesn't really scale to that. And even if it did, well, the
Limited to what?
Darksiders multiverse
Limited number of timelines?
in Dark Souls?
Yeah. Isn't that the whole?
No.
Isn't like that the whole point of Dark Souls 3 basically? That like all these infinite timelines are bunched up together because there's
The
one timeline.
where did you get statements for infinite timelines?
Well, because fucking every player comes from a different world.
Yeah, that would just be 2B
I'm pretty sure
because
there's
there's a
an.
set amount of players that have played the games.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's fucking. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be 2A. Pretty sure it's infinite.
No, no. It also doesn't work off of like many worlds interpretation or anything. There's just a world for every player. Like, also, even if it was 2A, it wouldn't matter. Darksiders, like one half of the Darksiders multiverse is already 2A. Like just the Tree of Life, the side that's on the Tree of Life would be 2A. There's a side on the Tree of Death that's just as big. And corruption can affect them all. So yeah, it would literally swallow the entire abyss.
Been taking L's from Hi-Fi Rush. No, I'm pretty good at the game actually. I mean, it's a hack and slash game. I'm not bad at those.
Whoa.
The only problem I had with Hi-Fi Rush was Corsica because I despise the way the counter mechanic in that game works a little bit. It's great in normal fights. It's not good when an entire boss fight is dedicated to it.
This is not fun.
Why don't you switch your build to a lifesteal build? Wouldn't that let you live longer?
What do you think I'm doing?
I hate Transmagia from on DMD DMC2. Transmagia is fine if you understand what the fuck Transmagia does. The problem is that like most people don't realize how it works. I mean, granted, it's still a really fucking terrible boss battle, even if you know how it works, but it's not as bad when you know the like mechanics of it. What's the highest you could argue Darksiders with the info you have so far? Mangler go.
Above baseline 2A, as I mentioned.
Oh yeah, I translated Daniel's things from the Bayonetta Japanese guidebook, and I didn't really find anything impressive. Mainly just statements
Just
that Rodin's immortal, and that Rodin's still feared as a demon who brings despair even in the underworld, and that technically, I'm sure this was already confirmed, but yes, Rodin did use the Rodin weapon as his weapon prior to being sent from heaven.
I mean, it has Halo rings on it, so if he didn't use the weapon with rings before he was cast down of heaven, that would be kind of weird.
Well, I think the position is that like because Rodin only fights with his bare hands in the actual game itself, that like it doesn't really do anything. Like he wouldn't have weapons, but I guess yeah, I guess canonically he did have that as a weapon. I
well,
don't think
well,
that
yeah, because
works.
he's cast out now, so presumably he doesn't have the weapons, or at least I guess he just doesn't choose to use them anymore.
So Rhoda is no longer the strongest character. I don't know. I think he still is because according to the game's like lore page regarding the book is so powerful, not even Rodin can break it. So that means Rodent's still considered to be in the upper echelon of strength in the series. Otherwise, that's
I think
saying
I
more than
found the
Master.
weapon. I think I found the weapon that was supposed to get me through this area. I might, I might have been raw powering them when I was supposed to be running and gunning. Sorry for wasting everybody's time. This DLC is taking longer than expected, but it was player error.
The perfection came first. Anyways, how would War Dad to do in DMC?
They would not do well.
The problem is that DMC, the more you get into it, the stupider the series gets as a whole when it comes to its abilities.
At most, they could erase a demon from existence, and they would just come back, and then eventually that tactic would stop working, and then they'd be fucked.
So what's the description for these various guns the faction uses? Do these guns have descriptions?
I don't think these guns in particular have descriptions. Well, at least I got some items. Wait, no, no, no! Oh. I think I just needed to unlock that door as a shortcut.
Yeah, no. So, overall, it's been pretty chill. I have to actually finish reading High School DxD's first book and releasing or at least getting all the images for a review before Lent starts. So I don't know. It's only 170 pages. I can read it in like one night.
What came first, the tree or the perfection?
The perfection.
You referring to DMC? Probably Argo. Because the tree is just something that grew in the primordial chaos, so it probably came after the fact.
So, God of War video part 2. Mangler, can you potentially give any ETA on that or no?
I cannot, unfortunately.
So, Mangler's already finished the first section, which is the longest section or the hardest one he claims. So the next couple of sections, how many more sections is it? Like 2 or 3?
2.
Okay, so he's
Two
already
two more, but yeah, I'm 30% of the way done. Well, I say 30% of the way done by parts. If we're talking work, I'm 50% of the way done. Probably more. Because they're not like evenly divided. Because the first section takes up.
Oh, you can finish.
I was gonna say the first section takes up a lot.
Oh, what the fuck? Wow.
This is what we refer.
That happened really fucking quick.
What happened quick?
Another shooting in Memphis today.
Yes.
Fuck me, we're getting those by the fucking dozens. I think there was one yesterday, wasn't there?
Oh yeah, there's Trident.
Whoever the hell that is.
It is Belial.
Still no video from Ken? Yeah, Ken said, like, I think a week ago, after a 3-week fucking delay, that they're gonna make a video responding to my video of the tree, and it seems nothing's come out of it.
For shame.
Bro, it's only been 2 months, and you Americans got another shooting? Yeah, that's weird.
That's 2 months since what? We have them every day.
No, not true. A lot of quote-unquote mass shootings aren't real like mass shootings.
Yeah, no, we have shootings every day. Like they're just not like.
Oh, you mean generic shootings? Yeah.
No. Like shootings involving like a person going to a location and then like literally trying to kill as many people as possible. The difference is that the body count isn't like 20 each time. It's usually like 2 or 3.
I don't know about that one.
That's what. No, like we literally have reports on the fact that we've been having shootings like every day since like 2015.
Well, so the problem is that like what is defined as a shooting by what is categorized by the same people who do mass shootings is anyone who brings a gun of any kind onto a premise. If you were to bring a BB gun to a school and shoot multiple people, that would be considered a mass shooting.
The ones in these shootings, what is being described specifically is the handguns. I don't think people would be reporting this as BB guns. I think that's a bit
the problem is
disingenuous.
I've only heard like 5, maybe like 10. Now I think about it, reports since the start of the year regarding these sorts of shootings. I don't think it's been like as crazy. Granted, the fact that I'm saying there's been 10 mass shootings in a country is as like normal is definitely a cause for concern. Well, actually, is it a cause for concern? We're basically like 50 individual
Oh my
countries all
god.
slapped together into a smorgasbord. So we have like
Hold up. I gotta shoot this thing. You please put your. Oh my god.
how American.
Hang on, give me
Yeah,
your fucking.
is cause for concern. Yeah, I guess there's a cause for because there was a shooting recently nearby my town, if I remember correctly. I think like 2 months ago.
Do I have to like deadeye that? There's an eyeball in the middle, but do I have to actually deadeye that?
Yes.
Holy crap!
Y'all gonna watch the Flash movie?
There's a Flash movie.
I don't know. Yeah, well, so I don't know if you know this, Mangler, but the Flash, Ezra Miller, he's still getting his movie. They canceled Batgirl because it was so bad. Apparently, they couldn't release it. But they're bringing the Flash, Ezra Miller, to still do the Flash movie. I don't know.
There we go.
Watch it be mid. A lot of people have hope it's actually gonna be a solid movie, but Ezra Miller's Flash has been probably one of the weakest parts of the DCEU. I don't know. I don't think he's as bad as people give him, like make him out to be, but he's definitely not that good. If that makes
I
sense.
think he's all right.
He was better in the DC. He was better in the Zack Snyder version, which I mean is a little unfair to say. Everyone's better in the Zack Snyder version. But the problem is that he's still kind of just like I don't know. He's got such a punchable face. I know it's a weird way to say it that way, but it's like there's something he just looks weird to me. So I'm just a little I guess a little off put. I'm getting more laughs out of watching off-brand movies. Yeah, Marvel movies are not what they used to be. My brother saw Ant-Man. I have not watched it. No, I'm saying he has a very punchable face. I don't know why. He just has a face that like just rubs me the wrong way. Like regardless of what he's done as a person, his face always just struck me as like his face looks like the uncanny valley to me, if that makes sense. Oh,
Got you.
You put a leave my bro yesterday? And how was that?
Oh.
I don't care about the actor as long as the acting is good, then the movie is good. Well, I mean, if it makes you feel any better, they canned a complete movie, and oh, so damn wolf. Oh, why did you guys play ARAM or did you guys play like a flex?
No, he's rotating it. Wait, there's more time. Damn it. Why is he rotating it? You
Man,
scumbag.
terrible at that. Ant-Man was carried by the villain, so I have not watched Ant-Man. My brother came in and told me that it was one of the most disappointing movies he'd ever seen, and that he can't take Kang seriously.
Oh, you can damage it over the course of multiple attempts. Fuck.
Nice. Sí, mi amor. Sí, sí, yo lo oí. No, no.
That was pain.
Pues deja seguir con la carta para que los... Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
barely
yeah.
alive.
You can't take King seriously because you can't take the protagonist seriously? You can't take... Okay, Mangler, you're gonna watch Quantumania, right?
Yep.
Ah.
What is it with you and spoilers?
Well, the problem is that, like, in order to get into details about this, I have to explain. Okay, I'll just say this. Based on what happens to Kang, I can't take him seriously based on his position in reference to the other Kangs of the multiverse. You saw Loki, right? So you know at least that there's more than one Kang?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So based on this Kang's position to the other Kangs, I can't take him serious. I can't take the other King seriously after what happens in the Ant-Man movie. You can't take Kang seriously because you can't take the protagonist seriously. Ant-Man should not have been the one to introduce Kang, but I don't think any single solo movie should have introduced Kang the way Ant-Man did. Because the MCU needs to understand something about how Thanos worked. Thanos worked because he never encountered the heroes and they built him up through the course of several cameos. The only time Thanos appeared was in Guardians of the Galaxy, and he appeared in a position of power. Once the second Kang showed up in Loki, and fucking what happens to King Loki again? He gets killed by the other Loki, right?
Yeah.
The second Kang lost to anybody, I now can't take him seriously. How am I supposed to believe this is a man who can take on the Avengers? If he loses to fucking Loki, and then he quote unquote loses to Ant-Man, quote unquote. I'm not gonna get into details what happens to him, but like quote very quote unquote there. The point is, I can't take the Kang Dynasty, which is the name of the next Avengers movie, in case you didn't know, Mangler, it's called Kang Dynasty. I can't take this Kang Dynasty seriously because fucking Kang looks like the biggest bitch I've ever seen. Because they don't know how to. The MCU has fucking taken for granted how much goodwill it has, and it's paying the price for it. Because he has different variants that are more powerful. No. From what my brother told me, that's wrong. Even if he does, that still doesn't. Bro, this isn't how you build up a villain, though. Also, wouldn't the Kang and Loki be the strongest one, since he's the one who literally contained the rest of them?
No. He would have had the most firepower, but he wasn't actually the most powerful at all.
Well, the problem is that they don't have power, they have technology.
No. Like, what he used to actually stop the multiversal war was that fucking abyss thing. He didn't actually, like, stop them with raw power or any other technology. He specifically used a creature to kill them. Which then I think was sent to the end of all things, that little dump area they had.
So why is he there?
I'm trying to...
Oh, no, he's not there, right? He's, like, in a different location?
Okay, so there's two locations. There's the end of time, where Kang is located at, where you meet him. And then there's some other area that I believe is supposed to be, like, where all timelines go to, like, die. And that's where Kang's, like, dog is. The one that stopped the multiverse. Or stopped the multiversal war. He used that to tell the other Kangs to go fuck themselves. He did not use any of his own actual power or anything.
Okay, I want to be clear for a minute since you saw Loki. How many Kangs are supposed to be alive during the events of Loki?
We're not given an exact number. We just know there's enough to start a multiversal war, so we would have to assume it's probably infinite.
Wait. Are the other Kangs still alive during the events of Loki? I was under the impression he was the only Kang.
Yes. So what he did in particular was that he merged the timelines into one. So when they broke it, when they went to the end of time and they killed him, that unbranched all the timelines from the same one. So he didn't kill. I don't think he killed. Well, he might have killed some of the Kangs, probably.
Kangs are
but
alive. Only that King is alive. Okay, see, that's the way I took it. Because if the other Kangs were alive, they would have opposed him. So the way I understood it is that Kang killed the other Kangs and then merged the timeline to prevent other Kangs from existing.
Well, that, for starters, that technically doesn't even make any sense because, like, I mean, well, I guess it would make sense that he killed them all, but we didn't get that information. He just says he ended the multiversal war using that beast.
I mean, if you're gonna end the war, that means you have to end the participants in the war, unless stated otherwise. Normally, when someone
Yeah,
says they ended the
but
war, they usually mean they killed somebody.
you technically don't need to if you kill enough of them, because the other ones would just fuck off or die. Because he could just be
No,
like, "Hey, you can ride or die, or just
the
die." Because
kings
I'll
don't seem
just
like the
kill
kind
you.
of people who would back down like that. At least from what I've heard.
I don't know. I think if you could just be like, "Listen, I've killed nearly an infinite number of you. If you'd like to be infinite number plus one, go ahead."
Yeah, you killed all of us, but you wanna know what? You didn't kill me. Let's go. Run them
Yeah,
hands.
no, literally that Caleb City fucking skit is just like, listen. That's all really impressive, but they're not me. What? They ain't me.
Run them hands.
Run them hands. Run them all.
The reason I was asking is because, well, how much do you know about Quantumanium? You've seen the trailers and stuff, right?
I know that there is supposed to be something within the quantum realm that is attacking them, and I know Kang is the main antagonist of the series. Or
Okay,
the main
so
the
the
movie.
reason I was
Blah.
asking this is because apparently the king that's attacking them was in the quantum realm the entire time. So technically, there were
Yes.
always two kings alive. That's why I'm asking how many kings were there.
Well, so even in Loki, we have confirmation that there are other Kangs in the multiverse. Because when
Okay.
Loki arrives in the alternate timeline, there's like Kang statues everywhere in the fucking in the time variance authority.
Hang on. He states that the sacred timeline is made to stop any kings from existing after using the fart cloud.
The fuck?
Yes. So then there's always a second king. Yeah. So there were always two kings around. There was the one in the quantum. There was the one in the quantum realm, which I think it's explained, or I don't know if I don't know if the movie explains it or if my brother explained it, where because the quantum realm is so small, it's not considered a factor when wiping things out from creation. So that's why I think that's actually why Scott survives in the quantum
Well,
realm.
it's not even a part of the main universe.
Okay, I mean I guess that's the way they're going with it. I disagree with that on a fundamental level
I
because
mean, it never was.
well
It never technically was.
yeah, so I guess that's how Ant-Man dodged the snap, not because he actually got lucky and it didn't hit him, but because he was so small when it happened that
Well, yeah, like we kind of all acknowledged that he wasn't in the same like universe. That's why he wasn't affected by it.
apparently the quantum realm is outside space and time. Yeah, okay, see, okay, so there's a better statement then, yeah. My brother just gave me the verbatim selection.
Yeah, that's even been a thing in Marvel Comics that it's supposed to be the universe is contained within other universes, or universes contained within atoms.
Yeah, so yeah, they sent one king there.
Clearly, it wasn't enough. Wait.
And
So how many movies are there then? Is there Quantumanium and then King Dynasty?
so there's gonna be two Kang movies because the Avengers movies are gonna both feature Kang and one's refer. Actually, hang on. Let me check the Phase 5 pipeline real quickly.
I was
MCU
gonna say if
Phase
I feel
5.
like Kang Dynasty, if it's supposed to be his like backstory, shouldn't that be happening before Quantumanium?
The Kang Dynasty is not his backstory. That is wrong.
Oh,
Okay.
I just figured the Kang Dynasty, that name movie named after Kang would.
The Kang Dynasty. Well, okay. So, do you care about end credit spoiler?
You know what? I'll just get around to it when I can. Never mind.
You already know
Pre-
what it is. You just have to think about it for more than 2 seconds. Why it would be called the Kang Dynasty?
I yeah, I'm pretty sure. Whatever. Listen, I'm just trying to focus on my darksiders.
Well, I'm gonna spoil it for you anyway. Hang on. No, not
uh,
Phase 4. Give me the Phase 5. Give me Phase 5 pipeline.
there
Fuck.
is no such thing as Phase 5. We'll be in Phase 4 forever. Let me check the rest of our. So this is weird. For some reason, the Demon Lord Belial one and the. Wait.
The other kings can actually make good movies. That's why they're all gone.
Wait. Why does it say I still have to bring the ore to the Madsmith? I already did this. I already did all this.
Okay, next Avengers
This
movie.
is dumb.
No, oh my god, fucking hell, what? Okay, I'm just gonna look up
Well,
MCU King Dynasty.
in any event, we have killed all the DLCs.
Okay, can someone give me? Here it is. Here it is. Okay, yeah. So on 2025, it's Avengers: The King Dynasty, and then it's 2025 in the same year, Avengers: Secret Wars. Oh, that's a ways out, actually.
The make of females kind of bad though. Well, to be fair, their engine isn't intended to represent. Well, I mean, they're not even like fucking same animation style as like most games.
I don't think he means kind of bad in the sense that they're actually bad. I think he means they're hot.
Oh, that was not what I was expecting.
Watermelon, could you confirm which one of us was right there? So at all times there were two kings in Loki. One banished to the quantum realm in the Loki one. Then better Loki kills one, which breaks the timeline, creating yes. Yeah.
There's a Kang in another universe at the end of Loki. He's not even in the quantum realm. He's just in another universe.
Yeah.
So there's actually more than two Kangs.
No. So once the multiverse is split open, all those multiverses come with the king.
Yeah, like each universe has a Kang.
Yeah. So once the multiverse is open, there's just new kings. There's a new wave of them.
So where do we disagree? I don't,
Nobody cares.
I was under the impression there was like a misunderstanding there.
So I heard the new Ant-Man movie sucks. My brother said it was terrible. Yeah, although his main complaint was less about the movie as a whole. I'm saying they're thicker than the stone they make. Mangler is what he was trying to say.
Oh, wait. Am I putting these in the wrong way?
So my brother's biggest complaint with the Ant-Man movie had less to do with the Ant-Man movie being bad, although he did have some issues with the other things. It's more so that Kang he can't take seriously after the Ant-Man movie. And I agree, Kang should never have been the main antagonist of an Ant-Man movie. It should have just been MODOK.
Oh, that was critical. Well, I just wasted some of these.
All right, let's try and like keep any super information to ourselves here. Poor Mangler likes seeing his movies fresh. What the hell are you even doing?
I am making stuff, and I forgot that you actually have to put them in a specific order in order to get stuff. But I got a bunch of stat buffs. All my arcane and strength stats are higher. So
I disagree with the MCU sucking completely these past two phases. I believe that Shang-Chi was a good movie, and Marvel's or Spider-Man's No Way Home was perfection itself. Everything else was trash.
Thor: Love and Thunder was fine.
I have not watched it, but everyone else has told me it's trash.
While everyone else is trash.
So
you should know a majority opinion doesn't determine quality.
What was Marvel Phase 4? Let's break it down. Hang on. I'll tell you which movies I saw and which ones I didn't, because I skipped a lot of Phase 4, and being as honest as possible. Okay. Oh, that's right. Most of Phase 4 was fucking TV shows, right?
Yes.
Okay.
What is this ability?
I did not watch Black Widow, but I've heard mixed reception on Black Widow.
Whoa. He has a pair of sights that use fate manipulation? So it says, legend says the guillotine was forged with a masterwork weapon used in many bloody wars. The craftsmanship of this blade unearly guides the wielder's attacks to strike blows of exquisite carnage, and the ability is just referred to as fate.
Nice. Alright, let me read this. Okay, Shang-Chi was alright. I heard the Eternals was dog shit. Spider-Man was pretty good. Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, I liked it, but it could have been better. But it wasn't that bad. I think I would probably give it like maybe a 6 or 7 out of 10. No, I'd probably give it like a 6. I think I'd give it a 6 or 7 out of 10. It was a good popcorn flick, which is what these movies are supposed to be. Thor: Love and Thunder. Mangler's the only person who's told me it's a decent or good movie. Black Panther was so I don't know. It wasn't terrible, but it was very clear they. How do I say this in a way that makes sense? It was very clear that they really missed their main character.
I think Black Panther was fine. I
It
mean, yeah,
wasn't
it hurt from
terrible.
having T'Challa there, but like that was just a necessary like that was just like an unfortunate turn of events
Yeah, I
that
feel
has
like
nothing
if
to do with the movie.
Wakanda Forever had T'Challa in it and they didn't have to write a script around T'Challa, well, Chadwick Boseman's passing, I think the movie would have been pretty solid. I mean, it wasn't bad as it is, but it
Can you really
wasn't.
count that against the movie if there's nothing they could have
Okay,
done to
so
control that?
the problem is I can tell this movie was rewritten specifically because Chadwick Boseman died, which again
Well,
is
of course,
terrible. But the
he's the
problem,
fucking Black Panther.
yes,
There's no way you can write around that.
that's where like my position is all like the product we got was kind of subpar, but I don't want to hold it against it because I know it's subpar because of what happened to Chadwick Boseman. So it's like with what they had to work with, it could have still been better. There were a lot of issues I had with the movie beyond just Chadwick Boseman's passing, but I know those issues mainly exist because Chadwick Boseman passed away.
No, Thor: Love and Thunder was trash. Black Adam ended up becoming a better Thor movie than Thor: Love and Thunder. I haven't seen Black Adam, but that's objectively
No,
wrong.
Doctor Strange 2 is trash. Hang on, let me see this. Strange is a good movie till you break it down. Okay, Shang is a good movie till you break it down. Potentially, yes. Doctor Strange 2 is trash. So why did Strange use the memory spell to make Wanda forget the kids, therefore stopping things? She probably could have ignored it. She was keep in mind, Wanda's stronger than Strange. Like even when Strange fighting Wanda, he's fighting more defensively and using powers that aren't necessarily his. He was using those ghosts to fight. Wanda was stronger than Strange. Dude, Wanda's scenes were great in that movie. Like when she fucking traps them in that mirror world and shit, and when she's like hunting them down, the movie was solid as it was, but I don't think it
It will never
it needed
cease
more
to
time.
amaze me. It will never cease to amaze me how eerie the mirror dimension always is.
Yes, dude.
Every time they bring that fucking thing in, they're just like, listen, listen, listen. You thought it was creepy last time? Understandable. We're gonna make it creepy.
The story was the worst part about Doctor Strange 2, is what I'll say. Everything else was fine. The story was trash. But it wasn't the worst story I've ever seen either.
Ooh,
Again, I'd probably
the
give it like a
abyssal.
6 out of 10. Like I wouldn't give it like
Yes.
anything. I don't think I could give it a 7, but I don't think it's a 5 because I had fun watching it and I enjoyed my popcorn with it. Like I wasn't thinking to myself every 5 seconds this is fucking stupid or why did this happen or what the fuck is going on like I did with Black Panther 2.
Do I have all the abyssal
Hawkeye should
pieces
have been
though?
in Multiverse of Madness. He had the best connection with Wanda besides Vision. I completely agree. I completely agree. They should have brought him. They should have recasted. I don't know how I feel. The Black Panther situation is weird because I remember someone brought this up last time. I completely agree that these characters should not be locked behind an actor, but it would feel incredibly strange this late into the MCU's life to have a recast. But
Hmm.
obviously, no MCU actor has actually died before in the making of this one. No, Black Panther 2 is trash as well. It didn't even have Black Panther in it at all. Red Dusky, he was kind of dead. It's not disrespectful to recast, except the CIA knows where the vibranium is in the ocean. I mean, the CIA can't fuck with fucking Namor, if we're being honest. Yeah.
The
No,
writing
there were
made
a lot of
Wanda
flaws with
stronger
Black
than
Panther 2.
Strange in the comics. Doctor Strange over Scarlet Witch. That's not actually true, even in the comics, and that's also untrue in the MCU. They literally confirm in WandaVision way before, like years before Multiverse of Madness was released, that she was that the Scarlet Witch is more powerful than the Sorcerer Supreme. So that was preempted. You have yourself to blame.
Hang on. Except we see that the mental stuff affects her, and she never mentioned Peter, so we have to guess the spell worked on her unless told otherwise. The spell doesn't care about power as far as we know. That is true, but she doesn't really care about. Actually, did she even know who Peter was? There
Always
be no
store
reason
my
to mention
weapon.
it. They just recast T'Challa. It is true. Reed Richards in Multiverse of Madness is Pain. Wanda, Black Bolt can kill you with just a whisper from his mouth. God,
Wanda, we can bring back your children. How? Black Bolt explained it to her.
there were so many better options, but no, I just love the memes that came out of that because there's a Fist of the North Star one where it's all like it's like Rao, Juice's fist is unbeatable. It's completely based on offense. Just giving away key integral information. You want to know what I would have preferred when Black Bolt's mouth was gone, realistically speaking, but I thought would have been cool, but they never would have done it for a movie rated like this? I wish the other Avengers started fighting and Black Bolt just fucking ripped open his mouth so he could scream at her. That would have been perfect. And then she just blocks it. That would have been amazing.
Or they could have had him the trick Wanda. He screamed at her, and then it just didn't do anything. That would have been more effective, honestly.
Yeah,
because then he would have had his moment to shine, and then they would have been like, "Oh, now we're fucked."
yeah. I think they should have had him fight. I don't think they should have fucking I don't think they should have killed him the way they did. Like obviously it's meant to set up Wanda as this unstoppable person, but I think we could have done the same effect by having her just either tank the Sonic Scream or block it. Considering his face was blasted all over the world for months, and she fought him with if she followed him in Endgame, it would be damn near impossible for her not to know. No, that's not. Yes and no, but there's no reason for her to bring it up. They just recast T'Challa. I
How
think
do I?
I think recasting T'Challa would have made the movie better, but I don't really. Well, it's because they could have. It could have been a good movie if they understood the characters they were working with a little better and weren't trying to just shoehorn in. We need to replace Black Panther as soon as possible. I'll still say it. The best actor in Black Panther 2 was still Michael B. Jordan for like his little cameo. That's Killmonger for those of you who don't know who that is. Like when Killmonger showed up in the movie as a spectral ghost, I thought to myself like, "Damn, is this what a good scene stealer looks like?" Because no one else in this movie has this kind of presence. They should have had Vision fight in Infinity War. Vision should have had a valiant last stand before Thanos kills him and takes the stone, but they made him completely useless. Yeah, Vision got fucked over super hard in Infinity War. Like, no cap. Actually, has Vision even fought in a battle besides the first Avengers movie he showed up in and Civil War? I don't think he wasn't there for the Endgame
No,
battle,
he
huh?
fights. He fights at the beginning of Infinity War, but not the end.
Yeah, he got stabbed. And then he was stabbed for the rest of the movie. Considering she likes pointing out every mistake Strange makes, I was pressured to point him erasing the memory of Earth all the time casually. Can we just point out how Wanda has literally no room to stand on? I don't understand what it is with the MCU's fetish of trying to justify Wanda's actions. You can't justify WandaVision. And I don't just mean making WandaVision. I mean like what happens in WandaVision.
I don't think that was the point. You probably flew over your head.
The point that she was trying to make is that when Doctor Strange breaks the rules, things are okay, but when she does it, it's bad. But that completely ignores the fact that she enslaved an entire town. All Doctor Strange did was literally let himself die for 5 years to come back and save
Yeah,
everybody
but
else.
she didn't do that intentionally.
Mangler, if
You
I
would have known
recall
this if you watched
correctly,
WandaVision.
if I've seen clips where they're begging her to let them
No, no,
go
no,
and she doesn't do it.
you don't know the context. She literally figures out at the end of the movie that she doesn't know what happened at the beginning, and she accidentally transformed the entire town into the giant hex.
Okay, and
Then
so
once,
when she finds out, she immediately lets them go, right?
well, no, because she's
Okay.
trying to stop. No, no, no. Hang on. She's trying to stop Agatha at the moment.
Doesn't she literally control Agatha's mind at some point? Like she
No,
completely
no,
overpowers
no.
her?
Agatha was never under her control.
Okay, because
What happens? What happens after the fact is later when she battles with Agatha, she seals off her magic, and then she directly puts her under mind control and leaves her in the hex area or in that zone because she realizes that she's a danger to everybody.
Okay. That is not what I've heard from literally all the
Yeah,
other
yeah,
commentators.
because nobody fucking wants to consider context. Why would that be important?
Okay, but then she lets them go, right?
Yes, she lets them go immediately after she starts having the battle with Agatha.
What about when she walks out of town and confronts the sword agent and speaks like she knows exactly what's going on? Yeah, I was gonna mention. What
Because
about
she's
that
under the
scene?
impression. Oh my god! Like, do I have to explain to you guys how the basis of knowledge works? If you don't know something, how can you act on it?
Okay, so the problem is that she shows up, they tell her that she's holding these people hostage and that she has them like held captive, and then she says snarkily, "I'm not the one with the guns." how does that one get explained? Is that like at the very end when she lets them go,
Yeah,
or
because
like?
she's genuinely under the impression that she's actually in like a normal town. She has no idea what the fuck's going on.
Mangler, she walked out of her town and there's nothing behind her. Did she just never look back in that scene? Did she walk backwards? Like,
No. Like she genuinely like she knows that she has this protected area. She does not know everyone's under mind control.
oh, okay. So then you're okay, but they told her they are. Did she never like?
Yeah,
Did she just not
no,
control them?
no, because she has no. Well, for starters, in the case of Sword, she has no reason to believe Sword,
Isn't
and she
Sword?
refuses to believe them.
Is it because they're not Shield? Is that why?
Well, it's more so because the guy leading Sword is kind of this massive asshole who just wants to restart Vision for like a company project.
Does she know that?
Yeah, because they tried to basically take apart his body at first, and then she broke into their laboratory to stop them, and then he's just like, Wanda, he's gone. Like you can't do anything for him. And then she just leaves in depression because she realizes like I can't bring him back.
So
Then she goes to the town where they were going to have their life together, and her mind can't take the thought of not having Vision, and then it happens. She creates the hex out as like a panic attack.
No, she doesn't know
Bec-
he is evil. Hang on. What about when she blasts her brother and people keep telling her children are dead? She clearly knows that's true and that she's created an illusion, but she just doesn't know that the other people are stuck
Again,
there.
this would have been better if you just watched WandaVision instead of listening to what people fucking say.
It's because the problem is that like I'm seeing so many clips here where there's clearly that she's aware of something is wrong and
She's aware that something is going on, but she doesn't know what in question. And the main part that matters is that when she's inside the hex, she gets to see Vision and her kids, and that's the only thing that matters to her.
Yes, but that's the traits of that would be traits considered alongside line of a villain because she doesn't care as long as she has them, which is why.
But she's not. She's also not aware of what's happening to the other people, and as soon as she does, she tries to remove them.
Let me see. Okay, I'll watch this a little later. I can't watch it right now because we're on stream. She's aware that she's controlling everything. Okay, so hang on. Before we continue this, Kyle has not introduced Roaring Thunder Pursuit to us. However, Kyle's under the impression Roaring Thunder Pursuit might hit me up, but that never happened, so I suspect that probably won't happen. What Melon said.
She's aware that she's controlling everything. That's objectively wrong. It's revealed that Agatha is literally controlling what's going on behind the scenes.
But when does Agatha get revealed? Because I remember that's
Agatha gets revealed near the very end. She's been there the entire time.
Yeah,
she's been watching the entire events play out. Yeah. She's just playing as a neighbor.
Yeah, because there was like the whole Agatha was behind it all along song.
Oh yeah, they did play a song like that.
So Mangler, what's the situation in the game now? What are you doing right now, actually?
So what I was trying to do is that I was trying to take my inventory and store it because I don't want to be in a position where I'm given a reward for being the Crucible and I can't like hold it in my inventory. Because the problem is, as you can see, well, my scythes are good, but my hammers are not good.
It's like, look, I just don't want to sign into Disney Plus. Agatha shows up sometimes to Wanda sets up the hex because she knows the power Wanda was giving off. Yeah, but okay, so
Yes.
Mangler's claiming that Wanda initially created the hex and enslaved the town outside of her control because of her emotions running rampant. So Mangler's position, she's not fully aware that the town was enslaved.
So she has control over them, but she doesn't know that because that wasn't her goal. Her goal was just to recreate Vision, and she accidentally created her kids too, though that happened later after the fact. And the hex created a perfect reality for her that also put everyone under
Visions of Robot, just out of curiosity, during this movie, or no? Or during this thing?
Visions of Robot.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. So she remembers that, right? Does she never once consider why we have kids?
Sorry, I don't seem to understand. What do you mean Vision's robot?
Okay, well, Vision's a robot. He's an android. He can't give birth. He can't produce children. Like,
yeah, no.
Aware that he's a robot in the fucking room or no?
Well, yeah, he's an android, but like, I guess she just chalked it up to the fact that like her powers are able to help them like produce a child. She just didn't think, oh, the child would only be able to exist inside of the hex. Which, to be fair, I want to point it out, like, her mindset's not really going on what's inside the hex because everyone seems to act just pretty normally towards her. She has no idea that she's put them under mind control. She only figures out later on.
Now and again? Like, aren't there moments
No. Vision accidentally breaks a couple of them out and then confronts Wanda about it, and Wanda's like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Okay, but then like after Vision's like, hey, these people are being enslaved. Can you stop enslaving them? They should be like, all
Well,
right, let's look
that's
into that.
not exactly what he says. He's more like Vision's more focused on what he's doing there because he doesn't have any memories before Westview or Westtown or whatever town they're currently in. And he's questioning like, what's going on? Why don't I have any more memories? And then they have that like really cheeky fight scene,
Probably
like the
killed more than a few kids and caused probably a few suicides from adults. At the end, she literally tells town people that she did this and it's helping them. They tell her they are in. That is there a
that's
word,
kind of an
Cassie?
assumption there.
Illuminati, the Darkhold
A little bit
association
loaded.
in the multiverse. Doctor Strange. Yeah, she's using it and is on her way here. The Illuminati. Your point is, Doctor Strange, blank face, Illuminati skull. Pain. They tell her they are in pain. Them asking to be free pisses her off, and she sends a wave of magic hurt. I remember that scene actually. Yeah, they're literally pleading with her to let them go, and she like fucking like still restrains them. I think
Yeah, because she's under like at that point she's aware of it and she's under the impression that like her magic is genuinely going to help them. I've already made this clear, like her focus is on the like what's happening to the Hex and her family. She doesn't realize she's controlling it until later on, and she genuinely thinks she's helping them.
Okay, so then she just becomes like a self-centered like megalomaniac at that point. So
she becomes self-centered later on, but she's not doing all of this consciously, and after she beats Agatha she removes them from the mind control.
And they beg her
So I'm not saying no. I'm not saying the justification that what she did is justified. And what I'm saying is that Multiverse of Madness doesn't try to justify it. It tries to have Wanda compare them, falsely compare what happened to her and what happened to Doctor Strange. Because the problem is that her children can't exist outside of the Hex, and she refuses to accept that.
Yeah, but the problem, Doctor Strange was supposed to appear in WandaVision, but they cut him out. What was he gonna do in WandaVision? Was he gonna show up and save the town, or
show up and be like, listen, I'm the Sorcerer Supreme. And then Agatha's like, yeah, that's cool, but the Scarlet Witch is more powerful than you, so fuck off.
Yeah, but she's not the Scarlet Witch yet, so suck a dick.
But she becomes the Scarlet Witch during WandaVision, so suck a bigger dick.
The Hex was up for weeks, as in that time we find out the children of the town are forced into their room, unable to come out, or their parents to see them. They only come out for Halloween. Wait, hang on. Wait. The kids aren't allowed to run free in the town? You're telling me she's locked kids in a fucking room? They get no food or that time?
That's I don't believe that's ever confirmed. What the fuck?
I'm pretty. If that is true, she probably keeps them alive in some capacity. No, the problem.
Are you referring to the children in general or her children? Because her children
in general, I guess.
I don't think that's ever stated. Where the fuck did people get that? You guys are trying to make it sound like she's like a genuine like fucking psychopath.
I mean,
she's probably sociopathic.
She is. She went around the multiverse, kidnapped other Wanda.
Actually, yeah, during Multiverse of Madness.
Bro, that was like what, 2 days after WandaVision?
No, that was quite some time after WandaVision. She loses her mind after the events of WandaVision. There's a time skip following the end of WandaVision where she's using the powers of the Scarlet Witch and she's interacting with the Book of the Damned.
Regarding Wanda trying to do a false equivalency, the fact that Doctor Strange doesn't refute her in that capacity, because I don't think he does, is kind of like the moviegoers being like, she has a point.
Wait, not refuting her where?
When she's all like, you break the rules and you're a hero, I break the rules and I'm considered a monster. That's not very fair.
I think it's more so the fact that he consistently does it all the time. So he's just.
But the problem is that he doesn't refute her position by being like, yeah, this and this. It's actually
he doesn't. It doesn't need to. He still feels guilty about having to do it. All that matters is that he stops her. Like, you don't have to argue with a person who you consider to be like manic at this point.
Okay, but the problem is that when you don't offer a refutation to a position in a movie by a different character, you're kind of giving the impression that position is valid. It's one of those. It's one of the criticisms they have with the Infinity War situation, because Thanos' ideology, regardless of where you sit on the position of Thanos doing nothing wrong, because he did nothing wrong, regardless of where you sit on that position,
Of course, how loaded.
By the fact that the actual characters in the movie never try and argue against Thanos on a basic level of why his fundamental vision is wrong, the movie inadvertently gives a position that Thanos' position is valid, and that the heroes are stopping him because the cost of his vision is too great. Which is
I
probably.
never interpreted it that way.
In fact, his position is never refuted at any point. Even in the joke thing with the what if, the only complaint they have about it is that it's genocide. Doctor Strange actions have never ended up hurting or enslaving innocents. Well, I don't know. Doctor Strange gets hurt a lot in these movies. I guess he's not innocent. Jack Homer, best villain. I have not.
I guess someone didn't see What If, where there's literally a Doctor Strange that destroys his entire universe and fucks over time and space because he wants to see his girlfriend again.
Nothing wrong with that. If you have the power, go for it. Honestly, I wouldn't have helped the Watcher. Fuck him.
That's hilarious considering it is a multiversal constant that Doctor Strange doesn't get to date people.
To be fair, that's why he goes to the dark dimension to bang Dormammu's daughter.
I'll just leave the multiverse.
Even though there's actually evidence in the MCU that Thanos' way was pure bullshit. Is there evidence in the MCU that his way was pure bullshit? Or are you just referring to the Earth?
Because Watcher had that forehead energy? Yes, he does. He does have a big forehead.
The problem is that Thanos openly states that his plan worked on planets. It's worked before.
Yeah, but how can you apply that to the broad universe?
You can't, but no one ever says that.
Oh, so that just means his position is valid then. Okay.
Yeah, Gamora's the last of her kind. No, that's wrong. Thanos openly says in Infinity War he's gone back to Gamora's planet to see what happened. And he tells her that it's a paradise there. That kids don't have to be hungry. There's no more war.
I have too much damage. I have too much damage, guys. I have not
seen Puss in The Last Witch. And The Last Wish, no. I heard it's really good, but I have not watched it. I've only seen clips of The Wolf.
Why is it that every discussion eventually devolves to the MCU whenever we're having one of my streams?
To be fair, if the Ant-Man movie had to come out recently, this would never have happened.
No, this is always the case.
Then my above reasoning for Wanda keeping the kids locked up. Vision literally asks where the kids are in the town, then a townsperson eventually mentions their kid has been locked in their room this whole time and wants to be free for a few minutes to be able to see them.
You see, that's an actual statement that can be used instead of just saying that they're locked up.
Well, I guess that's where his position comes from, is that we get confirmation that they're locked up by this person, or at least by his, who he assumes the rest are all locked up. The Guardians of the Galaxy literally said last of her kind, then it got retconned because Thanos literally states he went back to her planet and that it's a paradise there.
Whoa. Hold up.
Are you lagging?
No. My stomach just.
Yeah, I haven't had breakfast either, but I've been awake since 11. I should probably have breakfast in a few minutes.
Oh no, I don't know if this is a breakfast thing. Like, oh, my stomach just.
Also, before you say Thanos could be lying, Endgame goes out of its way to confirm that Thanos is not a liar. So you kind of have to now. Maybe the planet is a paradise, but the race might not be there. He would have.
It's confirmed that he wipes out half of them. That's like we literally see him line them up on the side, so he does kill half of them. Yeah. But if they did say that she's the last of her kind, then yeah, that was retcon. Then he just flat out committed a genocide. Then, well, technically, the first one would have still been a genocide.
The only race of people we know he flat out killed completely, well, it's never explained, is just the dwarves.
He just didn't like short people.
No, I never understood why that one. Well, no, I kind of understand why that one happened. The dwarves could have made a weapon strong enough to counter the Infinity Gauntlet. Didn't gain L for the porn. Lies. Doctor Strange 2 should have been about Doctor Strange facing off against another Hell Lord. It should not have Scarlet Witch in it. Yeah, probably would have made the movie better.
Should have had him face off against like other Doctor Stranges,
Well, I mean, he
which it
fights one
technically
in the
did.
movie, which was
Yeah,
actually a
yeah, but
really
like
good, cool fight overall. It was a cool fight, but too bad, you know.
I wouldn't have minded Scarlet Witch being a villain. I just didn't want her to be a villain in Multiverse of Madness.
So Wanda really locked up kids with no food or water for days, if not weeks, like killing a few kids since their parents weren't allowed to take care of them. I'm gonna say this: the MCU probably would never confirm that, so we just probably have to assume the kids were sustained in some capacity. Still horrific, but yeah. Why would she
I'd
lock up
find
the
it
kids
unlike.
though?
I was gonna say I'd find it very unlikely that she'd be killing the children. The Hex would probably keep them alive.
Could have had it to where another Strange uses the girl to find another Darkhold in another universe. Can I say I find it weird that Wanda's as powerful as she is with the Darkhold, but Strange isn't? I guess like being the Scarlet Witch really makes a difference to using the Darkhold.
Well, she was more powerful than the Sorcerer Supreme without the Darkhold.
Source.
It's literally stated in WandaVision, verbatim on screen. In fact, the source that's used to explain it is the Darkhold.
Yeah, but she wasn't the Scarlet Witch throughout any of the fucking movies, right? Like that's like a different like
No,
sort of
she's
thing.
not. She's not the Scarlet Witch throughout any of the movies. She becomes the Scarlet Witch at the end of WandaVision.
But doesn't she only become the Scarlet Witch with the Darkhold?
No, she becomes the Scarlet Witch irrespective of that, because what makes her the Scarlet Witch is the fact that she can cast magic and use these things without having like any catalysts, any mediums. In fact, like Agatha is just like, you need to have these things to cast magic properly. Like, I'm not a witch. I don't use magic. I don't do any of these things that you're talking about. Agatha's like, you're full of shit. You've been casting magic all the time. You just don't use it with any sort of like incantations or anything. That's what makes you the Scarlet Witch. And according to the Darkhold, you're supposed to be more powerful than the Sorcerer Supreme himself.
Well, she beats Agatha, who is using the Darkhold.
She does, and she directly absorbs all of her power into her own body. And then she starts studying the Darkhold afterwards for more power.
Crazy bitch. So you are giving, for someone supposed to be way stronger than, yeah, no, Doctor Strange did a really solid job across the board.
I know everyone's like, man, he's so much stronger than Wanda. Like, he's not, but man, he's doing pretty well for someone who should be way weaker.
So
Those corpses.
So you're giving the crazy person the benefit of the doubt, while the MCU not making it realistic because it's too dark for them. No, like I'm just gonna say this: like there's like if you were to ask the director, they're gonna say that she kept them alive somehow. Because the MCU would never confirm a character that's supposed to be sympathetic would kill children. Because while Thanos is like intriguing, he's not supposed to be sympathetic. You're not supposed to really agree with him. You're supposed to disagree with him.
I don't know about that. We seem to get a lot of agreeing on this channel with Thanos.
I'm sorry. Don't be mad just because in a 6-hour debate I totally trounced you with Thanos being right.
No, you never did. Don't lie to me.
I,
Also, what was? Hang on a minute. What was that? What was that stuff about my rate and the Crucibles not doing too well? I believe you. I believe you mentioned something about how I wouldn't be doing well, and we're already wave 15 into 100, and I've had nothing but W's.
To be fair, your crit build is a lot stronger than I thought, but
I also have like higher raw damage.
looking at the world now, Thanos may have been onto something. Just saying. Thanos was right. No one just wants to admit it because they'd be horrible
Guys,
people.
just because we have problems doesn't mean we should kill literally everyone.
Wait, hang on. Then mind rapes Agatha willingly as punishment. That I don't like since Agatha hasn't done anything as bad as Wanda.
That's not what she did. That's not what she did. She absorbed her power and then put her under the illusion of being like. She basically turned her mindset, or not her mindset. She put her under an illusion that she was Agatha, the person that she was pretending to be. She didn't mind rape her. She didn't torture her or anything. She just put her under an illusion where she could watch her. And she's like, yeah, if I ever need information on this, I'll come back to get you, which they're probably going to do. Actually, no, I think they are going to do stuff. I think there's a House of Agatha series that's coming along. So someone's probably either going to free her. Yeah, they might have like one of those post-credit scenes where they'll be like, yeah, we're going to free her. Because again,
why would we want
Why would they? Well, it's not about whether you want Agatha. It's the fact that like if they're going to do a series on a character, why would they be like, yeah, well, you're not going to see this character then?
Because it'd be a prequel to explain like how certain things occurred. It can explain a lot more about.
Well, you'd still do that, but like again, like why would you just leave the character out? That's leaving money on the table.
Just look at Ultron. He went on the internet for 5 minutes, saw Reddit on Rule 34, and said, "Yeah, they need to go."
I think Ultron's a bit different. Ultron was like, we need an extinction level event.
Is Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite canon to DMC? No.
No. Neither is any of the other Marvel vs. Capcom games. Neither are, I suppose. Dude, I'm so glad I haven't run into any of the undead stalkers yet. Those things are annoying.
Look, I'm just saying.
Just saying. No.
Thanos is right.
Wait, what happens if I just face the other way? Does my attack like? Oh yeah, no. Even if you face the other direction, your blades will literally be locked onto the target.
What? Hang on. What happened at the end of Multiverse of Madness? Never watched it. Wanda's kids end up convincing her to back down along with the other Wanda, and she basically just kills herself and the Darkhold. Although, given the MCU's track record, I suspect Wanda's still alive.
She drops an object on herself, and she says, "No one will ever possess the Darkhold again." So it's implied that she died, but we don't see her actually die. So they're probably gonna find something to bring her back, or feature her in Hell or something, or Mistress Death's realm. What she does do that we are able to confirm is that she destroys all the copies of the Darkhold in the multiverse, and then Doctor Strange is basically, I guess, infected or corrupted with an eye as a result of his interaction with the Darkhold.
Yes.
And he gets summoned to the Dark Dimension by Dormammu's daughter.
Yeah, she's all like, "Listen, Dormammu's being a dick, and you stopped him last time. Barely, but okay, let's go." Stopping's a strong word there, but let's go.
It's just like, I kind of had the time stone last time, but okay.
I mean, he can just be like, "Yo, America Chavez, get back here. Time stone will need it now." Wait, actually, I have a better question.
America Chavez can just jump around the multiverse. I don't think she can go backwards in time.
Why does the time stone even work? If the fucking time agency basically confirms the Infinity Stones don't work outside of their own like universe, how did the time stone ever work in the Dark Dimension?
Pretty sure that was because fucking the Dark Dimension at that point was swallowing the Earth's dimension, so he technically was in the same universe.
Is Dormammu more powerful than Wanda? I'm gonna say yes, but we don't have confirmation on that. I mean, he put up a better fight than Wanda did. Yeah, we find out that kind of stuff. The person is aware of what they're doing. That is mind rape Mangler. She had not agreed to that. Forcing someone to live a life they didn't choose against their free will by manipulation of their mind. Most people would consider that kind of mind rape. I mean, I guess we're going by the logic of like she did consent. I guess technically. I don't know. When I think of mind rape, I think
kind of being a little bit. Yeah, you're kind of being a little bit disingenuous here. Agatha is not put under that mind control specifically because of like whether or not she did something worse than Wanda. It's the fact that like what Agatha would do with that power if she were given the opportunity is the reason that she's put under that control. You're kind of just choosing to focus on Wanda because you don't like Wanda, because you don't like the things that Wanda has done, and that doesn't excuse any of the things that Wanda has done. But what it does acknowledges the fact that Agatha has also done some fucked up shit, and she would do more fucked up shit if she had the opportunity to. Now, granted, Agatha technically is in that position because the witches of her coven just decided we're just going to kill you, which is a little bit unjustified. But the way that she went about this instead of studying magic in like a more profound and like proper understanding for either for not at the expense of others, but at the benefit of herself, or the benefit of others at the expense of herself, she decides to do it for the benefit of herself at the expense of others. So yeah, of course you have to put her under fucking mind control.
No, I'm saying he doesn't do things Dottie would actually do in Marvel vs. Capcom 1. I'm not saying he isn't in it. The hell?
What the hell?
Versus MCU Namor. Aquaman scales higher if we go off the Justice League movie. He's able to fight Steppenwolf,
What is going on with this lava?
and Steppenwolf can
Do
Steppen
things.
Steppenwolf can fight Superman, take blows from him. Jim, why are you so low? That's just the way this mic is. I've already explained it. You guys want to change it? Give me money. I'm broke.
A legendary weapon has been sent to your mailbox.
Oh, he's talking to somebody else. What do you mean? Yeah.
Why do I have to fight Gorewood again?
That shouldn't be happening. It should just be the mic in general. Excuse me,
Seems a bit
distraction.
weird.
Reggie, are you never here for the Mangler morning streams at all? This has been a consistent problem since like the start of these ones. If you haven't been
Ugh.
here, my apologies. But if you have been here, I've been saying no. Okay, then I apologize. If you're a regular here, you know the problem with this issue. He apparently fought the original Doomsday, and they were the ones who destroyed one of Krypton's moons. The fuck? If we're talking about Aquaman, what? Aquaman fought a Doomsday in his movie? That doesn't sound right.
Wait, in his actual Aquaman movie?
Oh, Steppenwolf. Wait, is that confirmed? Where is that confirmed? Regardless, the DCEU has way better. Zach confirmed it. Oh wow. Okay, I'm gonna say this: the MCU, the DCU, if you just count movies, has way better fucking feats than the MCU does by a mile and a half. The problem is that you can argue for the TV
Silly
shows
things.
giving better feats to like Doctor Strange and Thor and shit because they can fight Ultron, who is at least infinite speed because he can just break through universes with sheer speed.
There's also the problem that due to Marvel's like vastly higher I guess amount of source material in the MCU, um, you can argue that they have just like more material to work with when it comes to their multiverse as well as its size. So anyone who scales the multiverse, which I believe you can argue both Ultron and the Watcher do, as well as the Doctor Strange Supreme, there are characters in that would scale higher than the DCEU.
With all the multiverse shit going on, the DCEU has more shit. Yeah, the DCEU on average has way better feats than the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I'm gonna mute my mic for now because my mom's washing dishes and I gotta go brush my teeth
Oh
to eat breakfast. So I'll leave you to it, Mangler, for the time being.
yeah. Oh, oh my god. What is happening with my stomach? Oh my goodness. Why am I being attacked? Why is this happening? Hold up, guys. I have to use the restroom really quickly. My body is not ready. Oh. Okay. Went to the restroom. Ate some Pepto. Hoping things turn out better. What's this? That's all this talisman does? Is give me health? I don't think that's enough to actually save me. Oh, let's check chat. Even the Kryptonian ship mentions that Doomsday Project was done before. Where does Halo scale? Places, but I'll answer that in a second. Did you eat something bad? I have honestly no idea, but I haven't eaten anything today that would be otherwise questionable. It's my normal waffles for breakfast. As for where Halo scales, Halo's cosmology is at least 2C. Because there are confirmations that like the Forerunners have destroyed like other universes that exist outside the main one. And as far as characters that scale, well, the Forerunners technology does scale to like Uni Plus, at least, because they can destroy universes completely. And technically, the Flood, with enough starlight, when they gain enough biomass, they create star roads that allow them to go through space and time, and can basically affect all of reality. I believe there's also some statements in Halo Infinite that the Zeta Halo, it's the Halo that's on in Halo Infinite, has the ability to basically threaten all of it's like a danger to the universe. There's some statements in there that basically implies it's a threat to the universe, though I don't know if that's referring to the Endless or the ring itself. But given the fact that the rings are used to wipe out like all life in the galaxy, I would assume it just means that this ring has the ability to hit all of the universe. Plus, the Forerunners already have statements that they can destroy universes, and the precursors, their predecessors, have had the ability to create things like star roads, which can affect space and time directly. Dante versus Bayonetta, Zim getting bricked. Yes. All right. I'm gonna go back to killing. Dante Bayonetta protagonist swap. What would compel Dante to kill angels other than self-defense? Wouldn't Dante see angels as being pure good? No, because Dante has seen demons that look angelic or divine, so he would have no reason to assume something looking good makes it good. Dante's more of like a I judge you based on your actions rather than what you look like. Especially if we're using later Dante's, because Dante's literally run into demons that self-actualize themselves to be angels. So if he runs into an angel that's just technically attacking people or attempting to remake the universe without everyone else's consent, yeah, he probably would not take well to that. Like, oh, this is just like some Moondish shenanigans, except you're just like fucking gold and like white and holy. All right. Master Chief doesn't scale to it, right? The Forerunners don't really scale to their technology, no. But if they have access to their technology, they can perform those feats. So they explain why Clark destroyed the cloning ship, since it made so sense to that sense, considering it's what causes Zod to go completely off the deep end. Destroying the cloning ship. I have no idea. It's been a while since I've seen Zack Snyder's Justice League. All I remember was he woke up out of the ship where he was supposedly, where his body was put in. And, yeah, that's what I remember. Oh, God, they're freezing me. Wait, I can freeze enemies that are frozen with Aegis Guard? That's bullshit. So Aegis Guard can reflect not only damage, but status conditions? That's broken. I did not actually know that. That's stupid. Look at that. They're literally frozen. That's insane. There we go. No Man of Steel. Oh, yeah, it's been even longer since I've seen Man of Steel. We have here. That Aegis Guard is so good. Aegis Guard. Where'd you scale the top tiers of the MCU? Probably Multiverse Plus. Because some of them do scale to the totality of the multiverse, I believe. And depending on how you want to interpret certain scenes in She-Hulk, well, actually, not even really depending on interpretation. Technically, the Kevin, the guy that's supposed to be in the actual Marvel studio that writes shit, does create the entirety of the plot for the MCU. And when She-Hulk basically like fourth wall breaks herself into the studio, it confirms that like everything that's on the show happens because of Kevin. It's supposed to be a joke to like a reference to Kevin Feige, but it does confirm that he does have like plot manipulation over the entirety of like the stuff, and that when She-Hulk breaks in there using the ability to break the fourth wall, they confirm that like after he asks her how they got in there, that next time you won't be able to leave your TV show to come here. That was scene was supposed to be a gag. No. So you don't understand, Red Dusk. That scene is supposed to be a gag in the sense that that's supposed to be an example of her using the ability to break the fourth wall, but that would still exist inside the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So what you don't understand is that technically Kevin would still be the being in the Marvel Cinematic Universe that writes all the stories regardless. No, Mangler is just a guy. No, you're just wrong. Like, they're just. You do realize that when She-Hulk breaks the fourth wall, like breaking the fourth wall is a gag, but going to the places where the fourth wall breaks or those things existing is not the same thing. Granted, it doesn't scale She-Hulk to anything at all. The only person that gets affected by it in the slightest is just Kevin. No one else in the studio or anything, just Kevin. Nope, just a gag. You're incorrect. You're just flat out incorrect. Based on the statements and the information that's given and the context, it is not a gag. It'd be a gag for She-Hulk, but not for Kevin. Because Kevin still holds the position of writing. It's not going to be brought up in future installments. Yeah, because no one can reach that space. No one can interact with the author of Marvel Comics or the MCU. They can't. They have no ability to do so. He's basically their entire storyboard. Like no story character is going to come off the page unless they write that up. No, it is. You're just wrong though. Like, or it does. You're just objectively wrong here. They can't interact with the writer. You can't interact with someone who's writing you as a story unless you're shown to have those abilities. But that's usually exceedingly rare in fiction, even among these types of stories.
Mangler?
Oh, I need more guns. What, Alan?
You know what that reminds me of?
No.
When Spider-Man met the One Above All.
I think that's a little bit different because the One Above All allowed himself to come down there just to like be seen by Spider-Man. Spider-Man didn't travel to his realm. And Spider-Man didn't do it as a gag, whereas She-Hulk explicitly did. But like what I'm saying in particular is that Kevin isn't considered a gag character. And that's the thing that you're not understanding. Like Kevin and the studio are not considered gag characters. They're real things in the MCU that can't be accessed by the multiverse or anyone in the multiverse. Nope, you are wrong, Mangler. I am not. You don't understand how a gag works. So it would only be a gag from She-Hulk's perspective because She-Hulk's character is designed to have fourth wall awareness, and she's intended to basically become more aware of herself as a comic book character. Whereas the characters in the studio or the people in the studio don't have that situation. Their entire goal is to write stories. Why would they be considered a gag? Like that doesn't make any sense at all. Also, that's not the only person that scales to the entirety of the multiverse. We have characters like Ultron and the Watcher that do, and anyone who's able to scale to them, or the fucked up part is that technically the Infinity Gauntlet is able to give Ultron the ability to do that. So technically the Infinity Gauntlet in MCU has that power as well. Zim, I'll give you $300 to say that Mangler is wrong and keep shutting him down on it. Wow. Bias much? What's the reasoning, man? Like, what's the reasoning that you consider it a gag? Give me the reasoning. I'll be more than willing to hear you out. I don't have anything better to do as I am dying in the Crucible. Well, okay, now I'm not dying in the Crucible. They're dying in the Crucible, but I'm waiting to die in the Crucible. Waiting for the difficulty to rapidly increase. This weapon is making it difficult, though. What is it, Guillotine? Yeah, this does, like, a lot of damage. Does less damage than Chaos Fang does, but the crit damage is 100% higher. Oh, the green ones. Oh no. I have ended him. I don't have to explain. It should be just common sense that the scene is a gag. Red Dusk, I don't think you understand this. I've explained that it's a gag for She-Hulk because that's the point of her character. But the actual characters in the scene are not. How many? Do you not know how a gag works? Like even in the context of a gag, the characters that are mentioned in the gag don't not exist. They still exist regardless. Also, what is happening with the audio? You don't know how a gag works. I do. I just explained to you how it works. Strongest MCU character? Well, then probably just... I mean, if you don't want to accept that, then just probably just MCU Ultron. Or the What If Ultron. It seems the sound has left the building. The game cannot handle my crits. But this always happens when I go to the Crucible. See if I can reload it. Perhaps it'll come back. Hopefully my game does not crash. We're going to go all the way to the end. Oh. Kind of grow tired of talking about the MCU at this point. This channel bores me.
Mangler, I'll give you $300 to say that Mangler is wrong. Keep shining him down on it. Mangler, you're wrong. Oh, hang on. Mangler, you're wrong. Apparently.
No.
I beg you $300. You are officially wrong.
I know, because if someone offered to give you $20, that'd be enough.
Okay, so
maybe 15, depending on how desperate you are.
Okay, so what exactly is Mangler wrong about?
So he's saying that the scene in She-Hulk where She-Hulk comes into the studio at the end and meets the creators is a gag, and what I'm saying is that it's a gag for She-Hulk because her point is that she's supposed to break the fourth wall, but those characters in the gag still exist and still represent the role that they do. What I'm saying is that the character that's mentioned there, being Kevin, from all the descriptions and information that's given from Kevin, is supposed to be the creator of the MCU in verse. She-Hulk going there wouldn't scale her to anything or give her any abilities. In fact, it's even confirmed that Kevin's going to remove the loophole that allowed her to leave her TV show in the first place. What I'm explaining is that Kevin would still be responsible for creating the MCU in verse. He'd be the creator regardless. I don't see why the scene in question.
First off, why the fuck are you guys talking about fucking She-Hulk? No, so it was ultimately just a gag, but I have to see the scene in question because I know She-Hulk can break the fourth wall, but I've never heard of her leaving her world.
She literally gets off the panel. That's why I don't like fucking talking about the MCU because this takes forever and we always default to arguing. She leaves the panel of her show during the middle of like a confrontation that she doesn't like. She jumps out of the panel of the show onto Disney Plus, kicks off like the She-Hulk bar and jumps to the inside the Marvel Studios panel and then goes there and like fights her way to the security room where the writers are. So that's why I said it's a gag for her, clearly. But the problem that I don't think you understand is that if she went to any of the shows regardless, all of them still take place in the MCU. Why would the Marvel Studios one be the exception to that? Like, I'm not saying anyone there scales to it. What I'm explaining specifically is that the character in question, being Kevin, the robot, should be the creator of the MCU in verse. Why is that considered like a gag? Like, why does that get invalidated by the fact that she went there?
Because Kevin's not even the creator of the MCU in general. That'd be Josh Whedon. Honestly, Mangler, you're slipping, buddy. You're slipping.
No. You're motivated by money right now. Shut the fuck up.
I am not motivated by money. That is a lie.
Yeah, no. It just happens to be on the table.
No proof of this monetary sum existing in any capacity.
I don't need to. It was offered and you accepted.
I have
Intent.
no idea what you're talking about. This is clearly a gag. Kevin literally did not create it there.
Kevin can't do anything except that he already did. It's literally confirmed he writes all the stories.
I feel like I'd have to watch this episode to fully grasp what's going on here.
You don't even need to watch the episodes. You just have to watch that one scene where she meets Kevin.
Let me see if this is even real. Because all I know about She-Hulk is she fucked Daredevil, and that's about it.
She did a lot more than that. I mean, I personally want to move on from MCU because, like, I'm sick and tired of hearing about these discussions on like my fucking streams.
Apparently, there's a theory about Kevin being created by Kang. The hell?
No.
No, that's not true, Mangler. He's just a figurehead. Look, guys. If they were to put Mickey Mouse there, it would be too powerful.
I mean, they literally
Very well.
confirm he's the guy upstairs.
Very
It's supposed to be a metaphor for fucking Kevin Feige. Everybody knows that, but like,
Mickey Mouse is
I don't know how much clearer they could have made when they literally stated it verbatim multiple
I
times.
genuinely thought after I left that you guys will switch to something else. I saw some DC.
Yeah, I wanted to, but you guys keep bringing up the MCU for some fucking reason all the time.
I still haven't even had breakfast yet. Well, anyways, you're wrong for no peculiar reason.
Okay.
Hang on. Let me see. So let me.
Why do you refuse to eat breakfast?
Well,
I mean, why do you refuse to gain power? Sorry.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna wake up in like 5 minutes from now. It's just that like, so when I wake up like at 11. So today I woke up at 9. I saw your message and I'm like, all right, let me set an alarm for 11, and then I'll just go take care of that. I passed out a little more than I expected.
Yes.
Right, let's talk about something.
You're the one who brought it up, Mangler. Somebody asked me a question.
Hang on.
What am I supposed to do?
Let me see. Let me see this here.
Just like ignore it?
Does someone not understand why Doomsday? Why? Wait. The whole reason Clark destroys the cloning ship of Man of Steel, if Rock and Alice is still here, the whole reason. Well, did you explain it or no?
No.
The whole reason he destroys the cloning ship is because that's what's going to lead to the terraforming of the Earth. So Superman's position is to destroy the cloning ship. Therefore, they have no reason to terraform the Earth. He doesn't realize that destroying the cloning ship basically invalidates Zod's existence because he's never been raised to believe that people are like that strong-holding. What the fuck are you guys talking about regarding the what revision?
What is a revision? I agree. Oh, also, I found out something really cool about Aegis Guard. Aegis Guard reflects not just damage, but all forms of effects. Because when the ice-based, not the stalkers, I think the creepers, the guys that like throw themselves at you and freeze you?
Yes.
When they throw themselves at you, when you have Aegis Guard up, they get frozen instead.
Actually, never really gives to you. I guess I'll take this one as like this is my bad. I was just talking about Ant-Man earlier, and that devolved into all this.
I would love not to bring up the MCU every single time we have a discussion. Yes, Red Dusk, I would love that.
I know you love it. Look, point is, DCU movies were overall better when they were better. I know it sounds really weird to say, but the DC, outside the Spider-Man movies, the DC movies are usually better than Marvel movies. I think we can all agree on that one. When DC movies are good.
There's a decent amount of talks about the two worlds splitting.
What the fuck are you guys talking about?
Yeah, I don't know. What are these two worlds?
So saying that
What's
Clark
Michael
fought in the
Mouse?
super fight? Dude, yeah, no, Clark is absolutely responsible. Superman could have been way smarter about. Dude, that's one of the jokes about Man of Steel is that Superman could have handled that so much better, but he chose not to because he's a fucking Kansas farm boy. He doesn't have brain cells.
Oh, look, it's a sycophant. I'm not even joking. They're called sycophants.
Very convenient.
That's their name.
That's why.
Look.
Okay. Well, did you stop being a cane to my fucking ranking just to feed? Don't mind me.
Sounds like someone has a League of Legends headache.
Nonsense.
Do you need a hug?
I was
a League of Legends hug.
No, I've already, thanks to yesterday's stream, I've already figured out what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna abuse this super stupid champion and get to gold with him real quickly.
And by League of Legends hug, I mean, being put into a game with people who will probably not help you and let you die.
That's just like, I'm gonna learn Yorick, yeah. And I've been looking for a new shirt, and I think I finally have the drawing I want to put on the shirt.
Nice. These guys used to be a threat, but then I upped my crit damage.
I'm gonna learn Yorick, yeah. Bless you.
Yes.
No,
I
you
didn't
didn't.
fix that stomach.
Lies.
Go ahead.
No, I was reading Miso's comment. Lies. Yes, because. Go on.
I didn't fix that stomach problem, but I did take a
Dude, take
Pepto.
some fucking Pepto-Bismol.
I did take a Pepto, so it might calm down a little bit. I'm not really feeling it too much
Oh
anymore.
my god. Don't tell me you take the pill and not drink the fucking liquid.
Well, you don't need to drink a liquid. It's a crunchable tablet.
Oh my god. Go to an actual fucking pharmacy and buy Pepto-Bismol. The pill shit doesn't work.
It's literally working right now.
Oh, you want to know what worked faster? The liquid.
Fuck! It just crashed! No! That was 49 floors! I was winning! Am I gonna have to crit faster?
Why is this fucking like version of the game so stupidly fucking
It
trash?
doesn't do this problem when I'm not streaming either.
The liquid is better. Yeah, no shit. The liquid Pepto-Bismol is better. You're not supposed to listen. When something shows up in a liquid form, that's because that's the best version they can release it in. Then fucking they decided because people didn't want to drink the fucking liquid because I guess the capsule's faster or the more fucking I don't even fucking know what the advantage of the capsule are versus the fucking liquid. I guess the
It's not
fucking
a capsule.
whatever. Your fucking gummy bear.
It's
Whatever
a
the fuck it is.
tablet.
Shut the fuck up. I'm done speaking.
It's a
Wait. So it's not a pill, doesn't have liquid inside of it? It's just a thing?
It's a tablet. Like, you just chew it.
Oh my,
You
there's no
crunch it in your mouth.
Wait, so there's no liquid inside of it?
I don't think so. I could eat another one, but
Oh my goodness,
wait,
that's
what?
fucking why it doesn't work either, because it's fucking distilled into like a fucking physical hard form. It has to melt in your stomach. Yeah, bro, why do you not just have the liquid? That's so weird. What is the advantage of spending more money on your tablet capsule bullshit?
Liquid tablets can take a while to take effect. I can wait. I can fucking wait.
This is a man who knows he's wrong and he's just digging his heels in and being like, "Fuck
No,
you
no,
guys." The
no.
capsule's
I
not.
don't even have the liquid, and even if I did, it would take longer to prepare it.
No, you just pour it into a spoon and just.
Maybe I don't want to. Maybe I want instant
You
gratification.
fuck you. This is the
You
worst.
never heard of the placebo effect, have you?
Mangler, your life's a placebo effect. Nausea, heartburn, indigestion upset stomach, game crashing. Yay, Pepto Bismol. Hell yeah, Pepto Bismol's the best.
If my life was the placebo effect, then why do I always have the most evidence for my claims? Maybe I just want to have the most evidence? Am I just willing this stuff into existence?
Yes.
Gee.
Liquid acts almost seconds later, but tablets can take a while to take effect. Yeah, no. This is I fucking hate when like there's a perfectly good Pepto Bismol bottle and I see people at the store buying like the tablets and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
You would not be welcome in my home.
Dude, listen, I'm sorry, but it's just like why would you want an inferior product for probably like a little bit more of a price?
It crashed again.
Okay.
Okay. I think I'm gonna have to get like footage off stream of this. I'll just go to the final boss and kill him now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just fucking get the screenshots on your own time for this one. Apparently you're I don't understand why this port's so stupid.
It doesn't even do this all the time when I'm not streaming. Is it just too much of a stress on the engine? Like, what the hell? Hang on, let me check my stream settings. Oh yeah, that's right. They removed the ability for you to like.
The only reason you go for a tablet is if you're a psychopath.
Wait, well, hold up a minute.
Yeah, I'm calling you a psychopath.
No. Why the fuck is my resolution at 720? All right, I'm running a 1080p now. I'm gonna try and see if this works. I don't know why that was at 720. That should not have been defaulted at 720.
Should it be higher or lower?
It should be 1080p because I have a 1080p resolution TV.
Maybe your
That might be
PC, maybe your Xbox can't run it.
no. My Xbox can run 1080p. It has a default setting for it, and it can do 720 as well.
Okay, hear me out. Hear me out.
And my computer has, or my monitor has a 1080p resolution setting, and that was all set up. So that might be causing an inconsistency.
So lore-wise, how fast do the horsemen complete the Crucible? There's probably no time frame ever given.
There is no time frame ever given.
Yeah, no. Apparently, Devil fucking was switched over to security yesterday from stalking. That's so weird.
Can't you play on 1080p but stream at 2080p? I could just play on 1080p and stream at 1080p.
Why would you stream at 2080p? Why would you stream at a higher resolution than you can see?
2080p. You mean 1020 or 1080?
Run it at 420. Do it now. Honestly, I think Mangler, are you in the Crucible again?
Yes.
What did you just say?
I literally said the problem. I wanted to check to see if my settings there might have been an issue.
There is
And
no
yeah, there
way
was.
running on a lower resolution is the problem for your game crashing. Unless it's like fucking Cyberpunk where it has to run at your optimal settings.
Well, the problem is that it's streaming at a lower resolution when my TV is supposed to be running at a higher one.
Why are you being timed? Good question. Why are you being timed?
That's a great question.
Because I was gonna say it's not timing downwards, it's timing upwards. Yeah, I said timing upwards. Fight me.
That is a question. Yes.
It's one of the questions of all time.
Mm-hmm.
So tonight, I guess I'll read the High School DxD book. It's only 170 pages. I'll run a review about it. And I should start the editing process for our side probably tonight too after I finish editing the script. Yay, video editing again. I don't hate my life. He's integrating hentai for the plot. Yeah. If only Bloody Palace had no timer. Bloody Palace should have had the option to turn off the timer and the option to turn on the timer, and there should have been 2 separate achievements linked to either one.
That sounds very tedious, though.
What, turning on and off the timer? Or playing it twice?
No, the achievements wise, like they should just have one with the timer.
No.
And then have it defaulted without.
Because clearing the Bloody Palace without a timer is still like an impressive feat regardless.
No.
You genuinely
because like
believe clearing the Bloody Palace without a timer is not impressive? Even like what?
Not when you have pre-scripted waves and you can warm up on every wave. It's not a problem.
I mean, but you have to put so much time and dedication to warm up on those waves.
Really?
I mean, by this logic, Devil Hunter or like Human Mode shouldn't have an achievement either, but it technically does.
No, because Devil Hunter is like the standard default. Like, why would you have two achievements?
I said Human Mode.
Human Mode is also the default.
No.
Both of them are default modes.
Yes, so there shouldn't be an achievement for Human Mode because it's super easy. It's literally easy mode. Or do you think turn on auto?
You're missing the point. The point is that like, why do you have two achievements for clearing Bloody Palace, not related to characters but to having timers, when not having a timer wouldn't like add anything to the experience other than you not being under time restrictions?
Because you're still clearing the Bloody Palace. What? So then, by your logic, then should there just be no achievement tied to it, just clearing the Bloody Palace?
Wait. So should I just give an achievement every single time I go through the Bloody Palace?
I mean, isn't there an achievement for clearing the Bloody Palace with each character once?
Yeah, but each character.
Okay. Doesn't difficulty change?
You're going through it with each character.
Yeah, no, fucking the timer makes the fucking Bloody Palace harder, but the Bloody Palace would still be hard in the later stages with or without the timer.
I don't disagree. I'm saying like what is taking away the timer add in terms of achievements, not in terms of customizability or
I'm
playability.
saying
I agree you should be able to turn it off. I like that feature.
there should be 2 achievements because it will show the difference between clearing it with the timer and without a timer. It should just be a generic clear fucking Blade Palace.
So do you want okay, at that logic it would make more sense to just give the ability to keep track of someone's time but not have them linked to a timer
No,
rather
because
than just giving them an achievement.
no, because that's different. Again, like so.
Well,
Again, the problem here is that like so in a world
this
where
has
you
got to
can
be one of the
drop
weirdest fucking positions I've ever heard.
no, because your fucking position is that there should be an okay. So okay, you clear Blood Pass with Dante. Do you still get that achievement if you clear it without a timer?
No.
Okay, so your position is you only get achievements if you clear it with the timer.
Yeah, because the
Okay,
timer actually has the proper restriction.
and no, it's not a proper fucking restriction. It's absurd. The timer's just there to fucking because the problem is that by the time you get to a late game, you're not even worried about the timer. You usually have more than enough time to clear the waves.
You're just asking to remove the timer completely. That's a different discussion.
No, what I'm saying is specifically, you're saying that the achievement should only be there for clearing it with a timer. However, I'm pointing out that like the hardest part of Blight Palace doesn't really change with or without a timer because by the time you get there, you already have so much time on your hands that you're going to clear it relatively fine. That was one of the biggest issues with the Blight Palace, especially with DMC4. By the time I got to the ending waves, I had like 2 hours of extra time saved up. Granted, I was playing Virgil, and you can really optimize Virgil.
Yeah. You can't. I was gonna say that's not really a thing when you play with Dante. You usually have at most a couple minutes, and that's assuming you're no damaging every single floor.
I cleared Blight Palace in an hour with Virgil on DMC4. I think I actually cleared it within the hour. I think there's a
I did it with like I think 3 hours left on the clock. Like I had a lot of time, but that's because I was consistently no damaging. Whereas like I'm no damaging a lot at 5, but 5 gives you way more time on the timer. It makes the timer itself completely redundant.
DMC4
Which
has
is what
bonus Blight Palace without Virgil.
I mean. I'd rather there just be an achievement that you clear the Bloody Palace, and like with each character, and that'd be it.
The DMC5
Unless there's like,
insane? No.
unless they made the ballsy move to give you the must style mode, then we get an achievement for that one.
Also, that deserves its own achievement.
Well, yeah, you can't do damage to the enemies. You literally have like a huge core gameplay mechanic being removed outside of like if you're styling.
If you start with a Blade Palace time, it's time that you need to rethink your whole approach. Not quite, because you can have bad luck across the board. Must style mode needs to be a thing. So have you guys completed no damage runs on all DMC game story? No.
No, I have not. I might be willing to do that. The thing about the must style mode being in BP is that I would have this caveat. I would not expect an achievement of that because asking someone to go through the entire Bloody Palace while like maintaining an S rank in every single mode just to do damage, I think is a little bit absurd.
DMC2
especially time
is super freaking easy. Actually, it's not hard. DMC2 is better played with swords only. You know what? I need to sit down and fucking make a video explaining that you can't beat DMC2 with just guns. That's a fucking myth.
Would you like me to join you and we can put footage of my DMD run where I'm literally beating the shit out of DMD bosses with Vendetta?
I really should fucking sit down. Well, no, I'm gonna need footage of examples of bosses you can't beat with just pure guns.
Yeah, no. That's like, well, I'm trying to think. Despair. You can't beat the final boss of the game with just pure guns. He will eventually just be like, nope, I don't want to be affected by that.
Throw your sword at Trismagia. Just throw your sword at Trismagia. Fucking Swordmaster.
Dude, if round trip was a thing, if a proper round trip was a thing in DMC2, you could fight Trismagia without guns.
Okay, so well, you can fight Trismagia without guns too. You just have to hit his head when he shows up. It's a real pain in the ass. Alright, I'll be right back, guys. I'm gonna have breakfast.
Alright, guys, we haven't crashed or anything. We're still getting sound effects. This is good. You know what? I think I'm just going to stop using Unstoppable for now, because clearly I have enough damage to kill these enemies. If I just slow down, I think the game will be fine. If we just conserve our energy. would play very, very calmly, the game will not poop itself. So, not whatever we were doing before. Who should play War if they made this game a movie? I don't know. Because War is kind of big. You might have to CGI a lot of him. Because he's abnormally tall. Also, his voice actor is pretty spot on. I think the Moth boss and Trismagia are the hardest ones with sword only. Oh, the Moth? The Moth, I think... Actually, I'm not sure if the Moth can be beaten without swords. Or without guns, to be honest. Trismagia you can hit, it's just very difficult to do so, and it's impractical. But then there are like plenty of bosses where I would argue like your damage output is consistent, even if you say like you have a more ranged option. So like for example, there are bosses where I would argue like direct combat options are more practical and more effective. So like Orangatara, Trismagia, Bulwark especially, like try gunning just Bulwark to death. You will get put into Majin form or die so quickly because he'll just block all your bullets. Despair Embodied will just fade out of the game. Basically, if you try to keep shooting him, he'll make himself immune to your projectiles. It'll just keep moving around so he won't get hit by them. He'll also keep ping-ponging you around the field by teleporting behind you and then slapping you across the room. So camping him with guns doesn't work because he'll just keep invalidating your camping position with his raw movement. I'm on wave 50 in the Crucible. Yeah. Must be nice not to have it crash. The guy from Creed, Draco's son, the Blade War. I don't know who that is. Unfortunately. There are some bosses where I'd say it could kind of go either way. Like Arius, for example, you could kill him with only guns. But it probably wouldn't be the best idea to do it. Okay, well, what is happening here? Well, killed Gorewood. Again. Jason Momoa as Death. Ryan Reynolds as Strife. No, I would not want Ryan Reynolds as Strife. I can't take Ryan Reynolds seriously. And I kind of do need to take Strife seriously to some extent. Because he is about the business. He just makes jokes every now and then. That rocket damage is insane. Oh, and DMC2? Yes. The rocket launcher in DMC2, I think, does like the highest damage of like any rocket launcher in the series as far as like the percentage versus enemies. I mean, obviously the weapons in DMC5 do the highest actual value damage, but if we're talking like percentages with respect to enemies in the game, that does like the highest damage as like a standard rocket. The only thing that comes close to those, I think, are like special based moves with the double Kalina Ann, but I wouldn't really count those as some of them are just flat out lasers, or some of them aren't even like, just your standard rocket being fired. Not to mention, like, that's a default base rocket attack with no, like, special properties and no, like, additional mechanics. You're just pressing the button and shooting a rocket. Whereas Dante has to at least, like, charge it up or something. Rain from Bloodling versus Alicia from Bullet Witch. I don't know what those things are. I'm sorry. I do not have knowledge on any of those series. I cannot comment on those. Whoa, I'm on fire. Okay, so we're getting sound back. If I just play a little bit more, a little bit safer, we should be fine. Slow but steady wins the race. Let's see if I can get a guy in the air. You have to put so much space for the charge attack on the Belial Trident. And so much range as well. Okay, I think the resolution thing might have helped a little. Yes, it does. Or are you referring to the rocket thing? Let me show all messages. Do you think the DMC power scaling community is toxic, Mangler? Well, kind of to add what Misa said, I don't think there's really enough power scalers for it to be considered toxic, but of the few that I know, I wouldn't say so. Most of the power scalers that I've met are generally pretty reasonable and decent people. And, well, to be quite frank, like, we don't have, like, so we don't have a lot of the qualities that I would ascribe to other toxic elements of other power scaling communities. Because I don't think every community is completely toxic or even necessarily has all toxic elements. It's kind of a little bit relative. Because there's probably plenty of people in the God of War power scaling community that aren't toxic or aren't assholes in general. It's just kind of like a poison well over there. There's people I disagree with in the Bayonetta power scaling community, but I don't have any reason to believe that those people are, like, you know, unreasonable people or irrational. I may disagree with them about certain things, but yeah. Whereas in the DMC's community, like, we don't really have a lot of power scalers in general, and of the few ones that I know between VSB, Zim's server, and a couple other servers, they're not really so much toxic as they're just excited to skill their verse. I haven't really heard anyone trying to bully other people into... Oh, no. Well, that will be our last attempt with the Crucible today, fellas. We'll be going straight to the final boss. Because the game has decided to die. I can't believe that happened. Most hate DMC for some odd reason. Yeah, most do hate DMC for some reason. We still... I've been in this community for years, and I still haven't been able to figure out why the hell people hate DMC. From what I played at Genesis, Strife generally doesn't take much seriously other than not trusting those who give orders like the Council. Well, that's kind of why I say that his general is serious. he just throws jokes around a lot because he's just generally like a lot more comedic. But like you can be comedic at the same time and have a serious outlook. Like he's very much about the business of getting shit done. He's very straightforward. I mean, granted, he's not as serious as someone like War, though War, I would argue, is a little bit more loyal than anything else. War views loyalty as a very like value trait of someone's, I guess, behavior. The reason I ask this is because Neo made a top 10 toxic community, and DMC is number 10 for him. Really?
Is that recent or is that before?
Because I'm gonna be honest, Neo's not.
That's because of Mangler.
Yeah. I was gonna say Neo's not in the DMC community. Like he hasn't actually interacted with any of the DMC like Discord servers or the people who play the games. He's only interacted with DMC power scalers in Zim's server and what people he's met on versus Battle Wiki.
It's just because of Mangler, I assure you.
Yeah. I was gonna say that's a very, very like small group of people to judge everyone based on.
And if it's not just because of Mangler, although I'm still putting money, it's just because of Mangler.
I'm gonna say it's probably just because of me. Maybe that's self-absorbed. But Zim, you can go. Sorry.
I would wholly believe it's because of you if it's recent. But if it's not, it's probably because DMC scalers give a lot of pushback almost immediately when you try to scale their verse without knowing about it. A couple hours ago, actually, it's just because of Mangler. Just because of Mangler.
Couple hours ago? Oh wow, yeah. That was
absolutely because of Mangler. 100%, not even up for debate. It's probably because I'm sure probably Kyle's thrown there a little bit too, but I'd blame it just completely on Mangler. Mangler's not toxic. No, but Mangler has this habit of whenever people disagree with DMC scaling, he kind of immediately goes on there to try and like correct it if there's a problem with it, or try to like reason with the person.
So yes and no. I don't do it even most of the time. It happens in the server. I usually just let it slide. But after I see it happen about 5 or more times and it's the same thing, I kind of decide, well, I'm going to give my 2 cents. I'm just very direct and assertive about it each time I do it so that I don't have to keep coming back 5 to 10 more times. So it seems like I'm aggressive and toxic because I just wanted to end there.
He did not do it recently with Neo. He's done it every time. It's kind of why Neo to talk about DMC on the server. But honestly, while I like Neo as a guy, I completely agree that he shouldn't be talking about DMC on the server where people are going to pounce on him when he played the games at least, to be fair. So we're going to
Yes, he did do that.
Well, to be fair, this is number 10 on his list. It's not number 1. If it was number 1, I'd say Neo's fucking absurdly fucking crazy. But number 10, yeah, I can understand why.
Wait, can I not get out? Can I not get out? What's happening? It won't let me out.
But like, I 100% believe it's because of Mangler.
No doubt in my mind.
Not a single ounce of me is in disbelief that it's not because. If Neo says it's not because of Mangler, I'm not gonna believe Neo. I think he'd be lying. But 10 out of 50 or 100 communities? No, that's fair. What's the rest of his list, Sparta? Let me hear what the rest of his list is.
I was gonna say, I wonder what he's really. Is Dragon Ball included in there? I bet you Sonic probably is, but I could be wrong about that one. Just from what he's mentioned about his interactions with Sonic scalers, he seems to.
Final Fantasy should be in there. He's not gonna put Final Fantasy in there.
Yeah, he's made it pretty clear that he's in favor of certain verses.
For the City of Carrying. He's not gonna put Final Fantasy. Oh, is that the final boss already?
Yes, we crashed again in the Crucible.
Sorry, this is low. Yeah. Rain from Blood Rain versus Alicia from Bullet Witch. I don't know what Bullet Witch is. DBZ is number 3. God Wars rated is higher for being toxic. Okay, well,
that's valid.
Just give me the fucking list then? Shit.
DBZ, I can understand that because there are so many people in the DBZ community, and a lot of them have been very, very aggressive. What's happening here? Oh, there we go.
I am going to make the argument
Let me
right
go.
now that
Hello,
it's
Cypher.
God of War 9. DBZ number 3. Watermelon, are you guys looking at his server, or are you guys just saying it? Much number 2. Okay.
I mean, if you made a YouTube video about it, then it's on YouTube.
It's not a
So
YouTube video. It's a list on the server. God of War number 1. Okay, is that your list, Watermelon, or is that Neo's? 1 comics, 2 Dragon Ball, 3 SCP, 4 Sonic, 5 the big, 3 the big 3, 6 Warhammer, 7 Umi Meko, 8 God of War, 9 Megaton. Neo's in like 4 of those communities, right? Like at least?
I can understand the Warhammer one though. That one's kind of they have some questionable stuff over there. I'll say that
I
much.
no longer believe in 1A Warhammer. I have been convinced against 1A Warhammer by playing the
No.
actual
I,
games.
I'm not. I'm not even referring to their power scaling. I'm talking like some of the Warhammer YouTubers have some questionable takes
Mangler.
regards to people's like life and rights.
Well, Mangler, the Warhammer fans, of course they do.
Yeah, no, like to the point where they're just larping it all, and I'm like, I don't think you understand that this is not supposed to be believed ironically or unironically.
Does Neo acknowledge himself potentially as some of those toxic people? Because, like, I'll be honest, when it comes to Megaton, Neo's like my way or the highway when it comes to Megaton.
I have cut off this man's arm. He still
And
wants to kill me.
you know, that's not like entirely bad on its own. I'm just saying that, like, does he at least acknowledge to some extent that he has some of those toxic traits? Because I mean, like, I have it too to some extent, 100%. Like, I'm not exactly I'm like an arbiter of peace or virtue or anything myself. We all have these issues, but like, does Neo at least acknowledge he has those too? No, he didn't. Does he say he doesn't have it, or does he just not say he does have it? I'm just saying because, like, again, like, I'm not exactly a fucking paragon myself. I'm not exactly perfect in this regard either. I'm just saying, like, if we're being honest here, like, a lot of these communities Neo belongs to, and I've at least seen some of his toxic appearances with Megaton. Despots has something like nothing. Literally just got a reply from a guy on YouTube that you're wrong, stupid DMC fan was to fate the lone are above time and space, which makes them universal. That is retarded.
Well, you heard it here.
He never said
Think
that,
about
just that it hurts putting those communities on the list. I'm gonna be honest here. Well, so this is a
Does it? Like, does it hurt him to put those things on the list? Because I mean, he doesn't like as far as at least one of those being DMC. I can confirm he doesn't interact with the DMC community. I'm in all those servers, and he doesn't share membership in any of them. So he hasn't really interacted with the DMC community at all.
I know, TH. I never knew before the 40k Warhammer scalers were toxic. Since when does being about time and space make character outers by far the biggest reason we're seeing? I'd like to know the thought process behind that. There is no thought process behind it. It's why it happens.
Why does it feel like Death's back and his chest are getting censored at random points in this scenes?
Wait. How did Ben 10? What were the honorable mentions? How did Ben 10 not crack the list? Because again, his only experience with DMC power scalers is just basically Mangler. That's like the most toxic guy, and maybe Kyle. Like, how did Ben 10 not crack the list? They call Megar an infinite universe? Sure, tell them to provide their evidence. Tell them to provide their source. So you guys agree where they put Megaton? I'm gonna say this: Megaton fans are more toxic as a whole. But if we're just focusing on the power scaling side of things, I can't fully comment on that because the only person I've met is Neo and Weaponized and Fetty. but Fetty's not toxic, and Neo's not toxic about power scaling. He's toxic about the game's like play in general. So like if we're talking in general community sense, then yeah, I'd say Megaton should be higher on the list, absolutely. But if we're talking just power scaling, I can't give that opinion there.
It's my mailbox.
I've never heard of Jester. If we talk about true toxicity, then Attack on Titan is number one. I disagree. If we're talking true toxicity, I think we just pure toxic across the board. I think we're gonna give that to Bleach. Actually, I think Bleach is the most toxic community across the board. They literally gave death threats to their author for writing a good story.
I would probably disagree.
I think when you literally I think when the community sends death threats to people, especially the guy writing it, specifically because of like a character death, yeah, I think you're the most toxic community. I think that just outweighs everything else.
Most Bleach community members don't actually act like that.
I,
That was a very small portion of people.
I know, but like we're talking community as a whole, and I think that right there just outweighs anything else. Did Naruto community do
So
that?
we're gonna kind of ignore the fact that like every group and individual on the internet was like basically saying that Bleach was like a giant financial failure or that it fell from grace, and they were propagating this information for like 10 years after its
Source?
anime release. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
wait,
So like
you
I
mean the
like
anime? Yeah, the anime was trash.
no. I mean like the fact that people were arguing that like Bleach had basically fallen in terms of like financial sales, that it was outweighed by like every single like other shonen anime
Like
completely.
Naruto X Sakura shippers sent death threats to Kishimoto. Yeah, but they didn't
I
send
would
so many death threats that it was taken seriously. The Bleach
I
fans was
would
literally like, "Fuck, I'm gonna die if I don't fucking do this."
I would argue Naruto's community is a lot more toxic on average.
You think on average they're more toxic?
Yeah, because the actual person is more likely to act like an asshole to you. I've
They
never had
didn't.
someone in the Bleach act like you.
No, they didn't. Naruto and Sakura didn't get together. Do we forget about My Hero Academia? We don't talk about the mentally disabled. No.
What?
We,
What the hell?
we don't punch down on this channel, guys. We punch upwards, okay? Or we punch to the ceiling.
I don't know about that. You're more of like a punch diagonal kind of guy. Like maybe if I land in that direction,
I am a punch horizontal kind of guy.
I punch horizontal. There you go. I punch up, but sometimes my fist misses the upwards direction and then goes downwards due to gravity or something.
Listen. Sometimes when I say up, it's like a centimeter above horizontal, but I'm always punching up.
Just happens to be down this time. Mere coincidence, nothing more.
Ready to top 10 list most toxic communities based on power scaling or just the community itself? Neo did it based on power scaling. That's why I'm not going to get too far into his list. Because if we're doing it just by the community, it's half of these communities are not that bad. The Dragon Ball community as a whole is not that bad. The Sonic community should be at least 2. The comic community as a whole is not that bad. The big 3 as a whole, leave them there. Warhammer as a whole, they literally spent $300 for plastic figures, leave them there.
No. Warhammer's got some problems, at least on YouTube.
Okay, so Warhammer goes up. Umineko, I have no clue on. God of War, overall the community is not that bad.
God of War's community is not that bad. They're not that bad.
Megaton should be up on the fucking list. If we're going with the entire community, SMT Megaton fans, higher on the fucking list. They're some of the most toxic fuckers I've ever met. Well, actually, that one's a little iffy because the community is great, but you just have a lot of bad actors there who are just toxic as fuck on the internet about it.
I don't have any knowledge on Megaton or their community in general, so I have no thoughts on that. Did you ever open up all the vaults in each realm, Mangler? I did. I got them all, but for some reason, I can't get the rest of the stuff for the Crucible because
that's like where I'm confused. Like I don't even know like who I would put in the God of War community to provide this example of.
It would have to be just specifically power scaling. Like you wouldn't be able. I don't know if you'd be able to say like the entire God of War community as a whole is toxic, because like from most of what I see, like. The worst that you could accuse them of is being in denial of their game design, but that's not like a
it's like outside of power scalers, I have no idea who I would categorize as in the God of War community. Like I can't
Probably
think of
just.
I can't think of like many, if any, just pure God of War YouTuber.
I mean, there's a couple or people who primarily prioritized in it, but I'd have to look up their names to be honest.
I would say like I can't think of a single one. Like, cause even TG and Case might be a big God of War fan. Like, I think he has other stuff in it. Well, I think he is a God of War YouTuber that does God of War mainly, but he doesn't have a lot of videos.
Non power scalers are pretty chill. They're mainly mirrors. Yeah, they like to meme. Then again, so do we.
Valorant isn't as toxic or legal as CS:GO, but they are definitely more weird. Valorant people are weird. Anyone who plays Riot Games is weird. Got a problem with what I just said, Mangler?
Well then.
You got an issue with what I just stated?
All right, I'm gonna switch over to fucking some not darksiders, but to finishing my golden eye run because
Fine. Leagues is not fine. You play leagues and you're automatically a lesser human being.
why does it do this? Why does it tell me sign in with the profile? I have a Game Pass membership.
Listen.
You stupid fuck.
If you unironically play League of Legends for fun, you probably think it's okay to kick a puppy.
Hang on a minute. I'm gonna have to restart this console. My stream's gonna shut down for a sec. This. What's it say? Sign in with this. Oh my god. I'm gonna have to like. Go ahead.
The way you put what you do with League of Legends is you use League of Legends to escape from your bad life by remembering how bad life is by playing League of Legends. You replace one bad thing and insert a new bad thing in there, and the last bad thing seems slightly less bad by comparison.
It sucks that the God of War Power Scalers associate. I grew up God of War. Grew up playing God of War, so it's like a bad taste in my mouth. So did I. Well, I grew up watching it, and then I played it when I was a teenager.
I played God of
So
War
like,
once, and I never understood what the appeal behind it was. I mean, I did scale it; it seemed fine, but it's like meh.
dude, what the hell is going on with my subscription? I have a subscription until November. Give me what's mine.
At least 3 out of 5 games you have for Chaz enabled, you will at least have some egomaniac in the game who has something very far up the rectum. Yeah, you have the silver player acting like they deserve to be fucking handed a silver plat, like a golden platter, being told to be the most amazing person they ever lived.
Yeah, I don't understand this. What the hell? This thing is pissing me off. Sign in with the profile. Bro, I'm signed in.
Is anyone else signed in on your profile, maybe?
No. I'm the only one that uses this console. Renew the subscription. It says Ultimate next to my name. What? What the fuck?
Well, Mangler's not gonna do that. God of War 2 is alright. So, I played God of War 1 when I was a kid. It was alright, but it didn't really hit me the same way DMC did. And then, like, I kept up with the series for years. I just wasn't really impressed. Like, so I don't know. I recently had this issue with Bayonetta 2 where I sat down one day and I was like, man, I really don't give a fuck about Bayonetta like as a franchise. Like not the same way I do about other hack and slashes. It's just kind of like it's kind of there, you know. Completely reset the console.
He's not like me.
Like I don't even Mangler. Did you reset the console or no?
No, hang on. Let me change my stream name thing before I move it. Okay.
Like, I don't even think I like fucking Bayonetta as a character. I think she's like the least interesting character of the power scale of the hack and slash community. Like, I prefer fucking literally anyone else over Bayonetta. Even in her own series, I like Boulder and fucking Rodon better. Even Jean's, I'd argue, a little better than Bayonetta. A little more palatable.
Let me go get like a sandwich or some snacks or something so I can like get some, I don't know, energy.
Oh yeah,
I'll be right back.
Upload my fucking newspaper assignments. I need to write out that rough draft today for the newspaper. Her story doesn't seem that interesting. She's just not interesting. Like I think maybe the reason I don't like Bayonetta is because I ran the Dante first, and then Dante was just like, and then Bayonetta is just as fucked as this is, she's just like female Dante almost. And so like this is It's kind of boring. It's kind of trash. Not gonna lie. I don't know, cause again, I'm playing like Hi-Fi Rush, and the main character is great. The characters in Hi-Fi Rush are great. Like I'm having a great time with this cast. Even a girl who's supposed to basically be a bitch, she's still more enjoyable than like 90% of the female characters that have come out in the last 3 years. It's like, damn, what is this? A likable cast, incredible. And then I was just thinking about characters and shit, and I'm like, wow, I hate Bayonetta's combat. It's way too floaty. I fucking hate it. Like Nier Automata has the same issue, but Nier Automata was pretty like I love Nier Automata, obviously. And not just because like the game was just interesting across the board, the characters were nice, 2B's hot, but that's not really a big deal for this one. And the combat was like, yeah, it's floaty, but you know, my fucking sword's floating, I can accept that. Hogwarts Legacy is also pretty good. My brother said it was pretty good. DMC3. Bayonetta is the epitome of the female being a boss that get crap done. She's quite literally just the embodiment of the archetype. I just I just don't really find her interesting. I think the reason Bayonetta's not interesting is because she never really struggled. And then by the time we get to Bayonetta 3, when she has to struggle against her opponent, I'm just kind of like, this isn't even the same Bayonetta. And even then, it's like, I feel like at this point, you might as well just commit to the bit of a character who doesn't struggle. Because Bayonetta kind of beats all of her enemies super fucking easily. I think that's one of the issues too. Yeah, Dante struggled mentally. The problem is that was there ever a point in Bayonetta 1 or 2 where you thought to yourself, fuck, Bayonetta stands no chance without help whatsoever? I think maybe the only time I can think of is when Lobster takes the eye, maybe? I have Near Replicant, I still need to beat it. Have it on my Xbox. I'll probably play it over the course of the next few months. It's just, and Dante lost fights. I don't think Bayonetta ever does lose a fight in her game. She just stalemates. She never gets flat out beaten, if I remember correctly.
I have returned with food.
Because even Balder, yeah, he deals good. Like, yeah, he fucks with her a little bit at the start, but then she wins. Like, there's never a point where I think to myself, fuck, Bayonetta's actually in trouble here. I think that's the problem I have with Bayonetta. She never really felt like she was in trouble until Bayonetta 3, and by this point, I'm kind of like, this is kind of like no longer. I don't think we can go this route anymore. And even then, she's in trouble, but she's in trouble in like the worst sense possible because it's a multiverse story.
This is a turkey sandwich, Mangler. I do not eat turkey.
You don't like turkey?
Not really.
Especially when Arkham tricks Dante. Yes, like in DMC3, Arkham gets the upper hand on both of them. He played them like fucking fiddles. In DMC1, Mundus and Nello Angelo beat the shit out of Dante. In fucking DMC2, it technically didn't happen, but Argosac still undermined Dante, but DMC2 is just weird. And DMC4, the savior was completed. Dante was in a bit of a pinch. He used Nero. And DMC5 in particular, Urizen fucking slaps him around. The problem with Bayonetta is that she never has any of those moments where she's in danger consistently, so it's not believable when she has them. And then when she gets that issue, it's a multiverse, so it doesn't really matter.
I'd also like to add that in the anime, Dante is technically knocked out after a direct fight with Abigail and left crucified on a stake. And then the novels add more examples of this.
Oh, dude, the novels in particular, Dante's always struggling in his fights. Like, this shit actually happens. I think that's why I don't like Bayonetta so much, because she never struggles. There's never really a character where I think to myself, fuck, Bayonetta's in trouble. And then when she does, it's for like a few moments, then it amounts to fucking nothing.
All right, yeah, I had to reset the console. Thank you to whoever recommended that. Because for some reason, like, why would it say that? Is it? I don't understand.
You don't want a typical Mary Sue who wins every encounter. I shouldn't have to think to myself in the back of my head, like, fuck, is this actually a serious threat for this character or not? Also, Dante gets to have emotional moments before his fight with Moons in DMC1 because he presumes he fell to save Trish. Rockanal says you're welcome. I don't know. Because Kratos has the problem of like losing consistently, but I don't really give a fuck about Kratos either. I really don't like. I mean, I'm not really too fond of his
Wow,
character
just
either.
throwing everybody under the bus.
No, because like I don't understand like because I think of the hack and slash characters I know of or people that would fall into that genre, the only two characters I really just like don't really care for are just Kratos and Bayonetta. Although I do like Kratos better than Bayonetta.
Hmm. Sorry, I had to drink a juice back. I was quite hungry
Yeah, no, so I
or
don't know.
thirsty.
I'm just I just always had that issue. I just don't understand like what my issue with it always was. The Kratos story is pretty straightforward and most people can somewhat get behind. I don't know. I don't know if I can get behind someone who becomes obsessed with rage and destruction over something he did. Like the fucked up part about it is that the more you pay attention to Kratos' lore, the more you realize that like Kratos' justification against Greece is kind of bullshit. Because I was under the impression that Ares tricked him in the sense that like Ares like blinded him directly, but apparently I think it was a novel just confirmed that Kratos himself was bloodlusted and that was it.
Well, he was put under a bond to Ares as well in Ascension.
Yeah, but that bond was because he chose to accept that deal to survive the barbarians.
And he was also like when he was sent to that village, he was specifically sent to that village to kill his family.
Yes, but the problem is that
It's
they
confirmed
only
in Ascension
died.
that they weren't supposed to be there that day.
Yeah, but they only died because he wasn't paying attention.
I mean, fair enough.
He literally, his literal bloodlust blinded him to the fact that his family was there.
I would have probably wrote in it so that the powers of the god of war blinded his senses or
That's how
something
I
of that
thought it
nature.
was about, but no, it's not. That would have been good writing.
Well, so I was more along the lines of just accepting that he had a problem, like his problems with the gods themselves were justified, not so much with Ares until Ascension, because
I
the
don't think he was
gods
even
just
fake.
kind of wound him up over and over and over again, even though he was serving them loyally, faithfully for like 10 years, and they just kind of were like, "Yeah, we're gonna hang you out to dry again and again and again and again and again and again." And he's like, "All right." That's enough.
Kratos, Dante, ban any universe and their goals to kill monsters inside the universe. How do you think it would go? I mean, probably go fine. All things considered. Oh yeah, you need more context there. I was always confused about Kratos killing his family. I thought he was mind controlled. Yeah, so did I or something. But no,
A lot of people did.
apparently no. He was just like he was just caught up in the moment.
Oh yeah, we got to play games.
I'll say yes. You have to play for like another hour, then maybe like another hour and a half. I don't see how it. Kratos gets killed first, probably.
God, it's been a little bit of time since I. There we go. Where's the gun? There it
Just
is.
like Brazil. True. Yeah, no. So I've kind of always been like one of those weird positions I've always had with a situation where it's like that's kind of fucked, you know. How is it possible to be so mad you can't even recognize your own wife and daughter?
Sometimes people get angry.
Swag finally started that podcast with Six. They started a podcast with each other. I mean, I don't particularly care. I kind of keep to myself when it comes to these things.
Dude, you just survived like 4 shots to the chest.
By the gods, what have I become? Fucking moron. But to be fair, you were already there.
They say I'm the God of War hater. Every chance I get the opportunity to, assuming the discussion comes along, I praise Kratos' character, the things I like about the writing in the God of War games. Every chance you do, you're like, fuck Kratos.
The writing for God of War's Greek pantheon is fine. It's not the best. Like God of War 3 story was terrible. God of War 2 story was a little convoluted because it's never explained why Sisters of Fate don't just beat Kratos flat out. Although the novel apparently does.
God of War 1 is the peak of the series. I will say it again.
Yeah, probably.
Novel comes along and is like, listen, would you like to make every character that doesn't really have screen time have screen time and make them likable and desirable? And I'm like, actually, that would be kind of nice.
Yeah, because God of War's novel does change a lot of context. Like you find out those two fucking girls you fuck in the boat are daughters of Aphrodite who fuck people to death apparently.
You find out that Athena is literally involved in the events of the games because what she does is that she goes around to the gods to help Kratos because she wants him to win. And she's actively rooting for him. And then you find out Zeus is an even bigger asshole than you could have ever imagined. Who would have thought? Adds a lot of context that fleshes out the events in a much better way.
The hell?
Yes. Red Dusk has told me that apparently his comments are not showing up on the stream chat.
Yeah, I just check and see. I was like, did you like accidentally do something?
No, I haven't touched anything.
Red Dust, what does it tell you? Can you show me a picture?
I'm not even. Oh, I have like two different accounts that I use for YouTube. I'm not using the one that has the moderator privileges. I'd just be a regular viewer, so I don't have the ability to change anything in regards to his thing, and I didn't because I've been playing the game this entire time.
Red Dust, try leaving the stream and coming back in.
Yeah, you might have to reset it. If not, I'll switch over to my account and I'll try to see if I can find a way to get you in there. That's weird.
Yeah, it's never happened before.
Yes, that is odd. Where are all these animals I'm hearing? Oh, not Xena.
What the hell's going on? Oh, sorry. It's not saying anything. They're just not showing up. Can you see me now? I still can't see your messages. What the fuck is going on here?
This is very sus.
This is the first time anything like this has happened before. Here, let me switch to top channel live chat real quickly.
Mangler, did you finish Darksiders 2? I finished the final boss of Darksiders 2, and I attempted to finish the Crucible, and it crashed like 3 times.
Red, send me a picture of what you're seeing on your screen.
How powerful was the person who put the ashes on Kratos' body? Just a normal oracle. Literally just a normal human being.
YouTube comments on stream not showing.
They just put a curse on Kratos. Here we go. I wanted to go further in Darksiders, but the whoa, why did it? Am I out? Oh, okay, I'm out. Oh boy, I'm out of ammo.
Could I try to say Ruby was the most toxic community? Tell people to stop chatting so you can see. Hey guys, can you stop chatting real quickly? No, something's not right here. Your message is still popping up even among the crowd. What's going on here? Hang on, everyone stop talking real quickly. Let's see if let's see if maybe there's an overload. All right. Okay, but let's try it now. I think that should calm it down a little bit. There shouldn't be an overload. There's only fucking 11 people here.
I resorted to hand-to-hand combat.
I don't see any stuff. Yeah. What the fuck's going on? What?
Did that guy just grenade himself? He did. What a loser.
Okay, let me see here. Game minute. All right, Red Dusk. What's going on here?
Hopefully I stopped him before he actually threw that.
Wait, so Red Dusk, is everything popping up? As in, like, nothing that you say is popping up, period?
Oh, crap. Oh, thank you for taking your time, Natalia. I really appreciate it.
I don't have a mod bot. Hey, I'm checking my ban list right now. He's not there.
Hold on, let me switch over. I'm gonna check and see what I can see on my screen.
The problem is that no one else is seeing him either.
All messages.
I was gonna say, I found it kind of weird the Red Dusk stopped commenting out of nowhere. I thought he just went to go work or something. By the way, the other downgrade got shut down.
Fetty, slapping is way too effective in this game. It shouldn't be that effective, but it is. By the way, that other downgrade, you never broke the rules. What? Yeah, I don't know what's happening. Does Mod have him banned? I don't think he is banned. We haven't banned anybody on this chat. By the way, the downgrade thread got shut down. That one, like, I'm gonna be honest, that one went up so quickly and got shot down so quickly. I didn't even get the chance to like look at it, other than like what was proposed in the thread. I didn't see any of the comments on it. It's still pretty bad, but like I didn't even get to see the conversation that got it shot down. That's so funny though. Fetty, if you would be so kind as to inform me as to how it got shot down, because I am what we may say out of the loop. All right, let me get over there. Oh shit. Well, I'm a dead man. I'm a dead man. Okay, so we're gonna have to be a little bit more ammo efficient and stop hitting their guns.
Okay.
How did it get shot down? That's what I'm asking.
So I decided to look on YouTube to see if there was any help on that one, and there are other people who have this problem, but it's never been addressed or fixed. And apparently someone's saying it might be evidence of a shadow ban, where YouTube has like basically banned you for breaking their terms of service without like banning you, so they don't have to get into an issue.
Red Dust, do you think you've done anything that would have broken terms of service?
Even if you did anything here, it wouldn't have been like fucking reported by anybody.
Yeah, no, that.
What the hell's going on?
I was banned on this stream of all things.
And okay.
I don't think there's anything he said that would have gotten him banned. Like, what did he do to warrant that? Assuming that's the case, of course. I still think it might just be some like huge error. The system just like made a mistake. What's with all these combat rolls, guys? Breaking out all the parkour for me? That's just so sweet. Natalia, where are you? I need that cougar.
Okay, hang on. Okay, we're gonna end this stream and see if we're gonna start a new one. Hang on, see if that'll fix the problem.